It's a solution in search of a problem. And I do believe you should have to have ID to vote. I'm 100% behind requiring an ID to vote, but I'm not behind pretending like people are voting without IDs. That doesn't seem to be happening. Because if we can produce Lincoln Riley and people that are harmed by immigrants, if they had folks getting caught voting without IDs, they would let you know about them. The fact that they're producing nobody that's been illegally voting shows they don't really have anybody. They're kind of telling you the story, but they're not producing any culprits. And they absolutely would show you that. That person would be all over Fox News and everything. If they had people who were voting and didn't have legal right to vote, they would be telling you the names. They would be telling you the prosecution methods and how they're going after them. Nothing's happening like that. So we're being led to believe a whole bunch of people are illegally voting, but we're being shown nobody actually doing it. So go figure. Save America, mark of the beast is coming. What is the mark of the beast? Do you think Trump cares about you as much as you care about him? Well, what's making you believe I care about him any more than he cares about me? Let me know. Anyhow, good evening, folks. Once again, it is indeed your boy Tim, the handsome U.S. We are live. As you see on the monitor behind me, President Trump made yet another highly controversial statement. And with President Trump, you can't take the word highly too serious, because no matter how wild, how controversial his statement is today, he generally tops it tomorrow. But he did make a statement that I think all of you heard. You see the actual quote on the screen, and we'll play it in detail, but the quote is on the screen there about him saying he doesn't think about the finances of the American citizen in the midst of a faltering economy. Listen, I want to talk to as much MAGA as I can get my hands on today. Certainly don't mind hearing from liberals, but I absolutely want to hear from some MAGA. I don't get why any politician would make a statement like that. I just do not see the benefit at all for doing that. Some things, even if you're feeling a certain way, it doesn't do you any benefit to come out and say it. You know what do they often say? If you don't have anything good to say, you don't say anything at all, or keep your thoughts to yourself. This is one that I don't see why any politician would say it, because you can literally, this is vote for me, you ain't black. This is sometimes you got to spread the wealth around. This is read my lips, no new taxes. This is if you want your doctor, you can keep your doctor. This is Iraq has weapons of mass destruction. This is I did not have sex with that woman. This is a bad statement. This is a bad statement. I don't understand why a politician would do this, literally to himself. But as I stated, we'll tackle the quick comment. It's a brief comment, but we'll tackle it in detail because we got other topics that are all basically subtopics of this.
Mr. President, to what extent are Americans' financial situations motivating you to make a deal?
Not even a little bit. The
know what happened on my screen.
only thing that matters when I'm talking about Iran, they can't have a nuclear weapon. I don't think about Americans' financial situation. I don't think about anybody. I think about one thing. We cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon. That's all. That's the only thing that matters.
You said earlier that the only thing that matters to you when it comes to Iran is a nuclear weapon. You're not considering the financial impact of this war on Americans?
The most important thing by far, including whether our stock market, which by the way is at an all-time high, but including whether or not our stock market goes up or down a little bit, the most important thing by far is Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon.
What about the pressure on Americans and prices right now?
Every American understands.
Americans, how they're feeling about it.
Every American understands is what he's saying. So that is what we're titling the live. Is Iran more important than the American economy? If Iran is about to obtain a nuclear weapon, which is what we're being told, and I'm going to tackle that in detail because there's some questions I want to ask you. But if Iran is about to obtain a nuclear weapon, do you believe that stopping that is so important that the condition of the American economy is not even relevant? It's so important that you need to focus only on that, and the economy is not important whatsoever. As you hear him saying, I'm not even concerned, basically, with the finances of America. What did he say? I don't think about Americans' finances. He's that focused on preventing Iran from becoming a nuclear power. So, and by the way, in the comments, we'll do a full poll on it, but yes or no, how many of you agree with President Trump that if we're trying to stop Iran from becoming a nuclear power, that is so important that it's worth taking a focus off the finances of Americans to the point where you're not even worried about that. You're so focused on preventing them from becoming a nuclear power. Yes or no? How many of you agree with Trump? State it in the comments. I'm curious because I want to give you something else. This is before we start taking callers. And by the way, tap the screen, get us up to 10,000. I see a lot of you folks are saying no. A lot of you folks are saying no. Here's what I don't get. President Trump, during his first term, the whole Obama-Iran deal was bullshit, according to Trump, according to my beloved MAGA. It was a bullshit deal. So Trump got out of the deal with Iran, and he served out his first term. Biden comes in power. Now, throughout Biden's presidency, both Trump and once again my beloved MAGA were literally ridiculing Biden, trolling him the whole time, bringing up everything he was getting wrong in regards to America. Number one was the economy. We were weak worldwide, I suppose they were saying. Obviously, Biden's cognitive health was being brought up. But the primary issue when Biden was in power was the economy. And then, of course, the Ukraine-Russian war, he was being criticized for. And then, of course, the Israelis fighting in Gaza. Both wars, Trump stated, would never have happened if he had been reelected in 2020. Here's why I'm bringing all this up. When Biden became president, the Iran deal was not in place anymore. So Iran was pretty much free to do whatever it wanted. And all you heard from the right was how bad gas prices were and how bad Biden's economy was. There was no mention of Iran is about to get a nuclear weapon. It was not even on the radar. We were holding lives the whole damn time during Biden's presidency. The right was not making a big deal whatsoever under Biden's presidency that Iran was about to get a nuclear bomb and you got to do something real quick. Wasn't even mentioned. It was all about Biden needs to turn the damn economy around. Biden needs to get the gas prices, the price of eggs and groceries. Biden needs to bring all that stuff down. Now, all of a sudden, Trump becomes president. And even though we didn't talk at all from the MAGA side of the aisle about Iran developing a bomb under Biden, and they were critical of Biden for everything. The right was not criticizing Biden saying that Iran was developing a nuclear bomb. Trump gets in power and suddenly we got to do something about Iran right away. So much so that the economy we've been harping about, we don't have to worry about that anymore right now. Let's stop them from getting a nuclear bomb. Does that make sense to you? Because if they were that gung-ho on getting a nuclear bomb, the right would have been saying that under Biden's term. Out of all of the things they were complaining about under Biden, I don't even think Iran getting a nuclear bomb was even one of the top 10 complaints coming from MAGA towards Biden. It was not even being mentioned. It was not even being mentioned. In the comments, real quick before we continue on, we run an uncensored program. We don't mind criticism. Khalid says you have an IQ score of a room temperature. We don't mind the criticism, but if you spam, we will block you. We'll leave it open for you, sir. Feel free to criticize as you will, but if you're spamming, we will block you. So under Biden, there was no mention of Iran getting a nuclear bomb. Certainly not so much, not so pressing that we had to do something right away. Trump gets in office, and despite his own intelligence woman, Tulsi Gabbard, saying they're not getting the bomb, he had to do something right away saying that Tulsi Gabbard didn't even know what she was talking about. What the hell changed to the point where our economy is not important anymore? So I do want to talk about that. We'll start taking callers at 10,000, by the way. Tap the screen. Trump is obviously over there meeting with China, but here are some of the numbers. This is CNN, so take this with a grain of salt. I know some of you folks do not favor CNN, but understand their report says that gas is now averaging $4.51 a gallon, unleaded, regular, and they're stating that over the last 2 weeks alone, fuel has went up 50 cents per gallon. That's a lot in 2 weeks' time. The price of tomatoes are up 40%, airline tickets up 20%. And the Trump administration is now talking about a gas tax holiday, where they'll suspend federal taxes on, you pumping gas. Here's the catch on this. While Trump is going around saying gas prices are going to come down very soon after this war is over, and most of the right are saying that, they want this gas tax holiday to last until December, which should be telling. If gas prices are going to come down like a rocket, and that's an actual quote from Trump, if gas prices are going to fall like a rocket soon, why are you extending the tax all the way to December? That seems to indicate you think the gas prices are going to be high for a lot longer than what you're actually saying. Pay attention to what he does, not what he says. Is that not what you hear from MAGA often on Trump? Pay attention to what he does, not what he's saying. He's saying gas prices are going to come down soon, but they're trying to put in a gas tax holiday that lasts until December. That's not soon. That's not soon. So understand that part there. Also, last but not least, with the economy faltering so bad, and by the way, inflation has now fell to the point where it's not even keeping up with salary increases. So even if you're working every day, you're making less because inflation is going up faster than your salary. And this is the worst it's been since the pandemic, when nobody was working. So what I want to ask is this simple question. With all the gerrymandering going on, I need you folks to help me make this make sense. Why are we deliberately gerrymandering states to give President Trump more power at a time when he's doing really bad? If this was happening during his first term, I could certainly understand. His economy during his first term was pretty good. His position as a president was pretty effective. But right now, with so many fires and disasters going on, why would you gerrymander the election to give him more power? Do you want more of this? Do you want more high gas prices, more wars? Somebody make that make sense. I don't get that. Right now is not the time to suggest, well, let's give this guy more power. I don't understand it. So somebody help me out with that. Anyhow, so we're going to go ahead and start the show. You guys know how it's ran. We don't block, ban, or censor anyone unless you spam. And I saw somebody was attempting to do that momentarily, but we don't block, ban, or censor anyone. You can be critical of anybody on this program, including yours truly. Our comments go left of Mondani to I'm having dinner with Q. We are MAGA friendly, always have been, always will be, but liberals are welcome as well. We will criticize politicians of all varieties. Nobody's perfect, and we don't entertain the notion that anybody is. Anyhow, looking in the comments, I support him. I am not about me. What does that say there, Tracy? I support him. I am not about Mimi or something. I don't know what that means. But I'm asking that question. Why would you gerrymander right before midterms when things are going this bad under Trump? Why would you do that? Does that make any sense at all to give him more power? Let the people decide. If he's doing so well, then he'll get reelected. But you're looking at the metrics of how we normally judge a politician. Most of them are bad under Trump. Why would you deliberately fuck with the election so that he gets more power? Like, do you really want more of what we're dealing with now? You think we think what's going on right now with America is doing so well. You want more of this? So let me go straight to the comments. The more you know, the less you can be fooled. People are easily destroyed for lack of knowledge. Go study. Well, the problem is you don't need to study. You can go grocery shopping. You can go buy some gas, try to buy a home, try to buy a car. You don't need to do a lot of studying in this economy. You can see it. Everything costs more. Go on Amazon, make a purchase. Everything costs more. You don't need to do a lot of studying right now. It's literally across the board. Trump and MAGA racist ass is doing real bad. Wow. That's a strong comment. Derek, I think it says, Derek in the comments, 100% headed back in the right direction, says Justine. Based on what? What metric are you going by right now as we speak in May 2026 to say that everything is going back in the right direction? What you see this economy right now is headed back in the right direction? You see gas prices, inflation, the job numbers is headed back in the right direction? Okay, I would sure like to know where you're getting that from. Ballroom on the White House or any of that kind of stuff, or putting these mug on $100 bills, you don't mind is spending money anywhere, but on U.S. citizens that need help. I don't understand that either. Get us up to 10,000. We'll take the first call or tap the screen. I don't get that. Why is it that the only person that seems to be really booming economically is Trump? You're right. He's getting a new jet, putting his face on money. He got coins coming out after with his face on it. He's getting a tribunal arch. He's had military parades. He's doing exceptionally well. But why is it that the American citizen is not sharing in on the proceeds? It's almost like working for a corporation, and you hear the stocks are shooting up, the shareholders are making a killing, and you working on the factory floor, you get a pizza party. In this case, I don't even see the slice of pizza, though. I don't see anything positive about our economy. But you know how it is to work for a company, and a company is thriving, and little to nothing is passed down to the worker. That's the environment that I'm seeing. I don't understand it. Somebody let me know, why would you want to gerrymander for more of this? Blame gas prices on Iran. Well, then who you blame Iran on? Because Iran wasn't affecting gas prices under Biden, and gas prices were high under Biden. So there's got to be more. Blame gas prices on Iran. Okay, well, what happened to make Iran do that? They weren't doing it under Biden. He isn't doing a single damn thing domestically. No American policies at all. Well, he was supposed to be America first. Was he not? Let me go to the box. Mr. Greenland. Haven't had Greenland on here for a while. Good evening, Greenland. Are you guys feeling better now that we stopped threatening to take your country?
So you haven't really followed what's going on right now.
What do you mean?
American is trying to negotiate right now to get 3 more bases in Greenland. And by doing so right now, they are demanding to the right for the ground.
What is your country saying about that? Now, because there's so much going on worldwide with Trump, we're not hearing a lot more. What's going on in your country is kind of taking a back seat. But what is your country? How is your country responding to America trying to get 3 additional bases there?
Well, of course, no. We don't trust America. America is never going to be the same place anymore. America already lost respect around the world. And America already lost in Iran. It's never going to be the same place anymore.
Well, I mean, but our relationship with you in Greenland, could that, you believe that's permanently damaged? You don't think it could be repaired with maybe a new guy or gal?
Maybe in a century, maybe.
A century? Holy shit. You think it's damaged that long?
For everybody in the world, yes.
All for one guy?
Yeah.
Well, we really have not done anything to your nation. We made threats, but America didn't do anything to Greenland to harm it, though, did we?
Respect is everything. If you want to negotiate, You need to keep your respect, and America has lost it. It's very difficult to get it back.
Well, we do have not only a businessman, but we elected him because he said he was a really good deal maker. You don't seem to think that he's a good deal maker.
That was a lie. And
I'm just telling you what people said. People said that was one of Trump's benefits of having him as president. He's really good at making deals. And thank you for the hat mustache, JPT Farms. Thank you. So, well, we do have bases already in Greenland. I mean, with 3 more, what's wrong with putting 3 more there?
they demanding the rights to the ground as if it's American land.
They're doing that now after the threat to take over?
Yeah, they are right now. In the next few days, they're coming to negotiate. They want to negotiate. I'm not sure if our prime minister has accepted, but he said that's a non-starter.
Well, okay, well, negotiations usually mean both parties are getting something out of the deal. If we're demanding as the right to your ground, which we want the precious. I think the precious minerals. What do you guys have in the ground? Is it lithium? What's in the ground up there?
Rare earth minerals. We have the second largest ore in the world, next to China.
So that's what we want. What are we offering? If we're coming to negotiate, we have to offer something. What are we offering? We're offering to take your people from being oppressed. That's what we generally offer. You're getting somebody got to be oppressing you, and we're coming to help you out.
We are fine, except America is threatening our lives.
Mm-hmm. Do you expect America to? I mean, because Trump originally threatened to take your country, and some of the European nations, NATO member nations, stood up on your behalf. Do you expect Trump to come back and threaten violence again?
There are some military and politic analysts have been thinking about that, and that what they are predicting. Trump and his government is going to try again before the year is over. Very near to the election, midterm elections, so he can try to save his face somehow, but that will be the end of NATO as we know it. And if you follow the news, Germany already produces more ammunition than America, and in the next few years, America will fall behind militarily.
Well, I don't know about it. I don't know if that's going to come by way of ammunition. I think the prevailing winds say drones and automatic weapons are going to probably be what's next. So, producing bullets and ammunition. I mean, even missiles and things like that. I think it's going to be drones and AI technology. Like what the Ukraine is doing is probably more scary than anything. They're becoming really good at killing you with things that are unmanned.
Yeah, Ukraine is the best in the world right now. Russia cannot compete with it. Russia has more manpower, but they cannot advance anymore. They are losing ground in Ukraine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the thing about it is they always say, necessity is the mother of all inventions, and Ukraine is fighting for their livelihood. So, and then once Trump became president, the American assistance to the Ukraine dropped sharply. So, for the most part, they had to learn to survive, and they've gotten fairly good at it. But before Trump was president, they were getting a lot of technology and surveillance and equipment from America. Trump came along and cut it all off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my question is for you,
Sure.
an American, what do you expect after Trump loses presidency? How do you see America will be placed in the world politics?
Wow.
Do you think you're going to get your position back?
I want to say yes, but I think the answer is no. Because well, I won't say permanent, but long-term deals are being made while this drama is going on. Like, for instance, the tariffs has led a lot of our friends and business partners to do business with other nations, and those nations are going to lock in long-term deals. So, like, for instance, China and Brazil are picking up folks that used to trade with America, like soybean and things like that. So even if we get another president in after Trump that's really apologetic and tries to heal some of those relationships, some of those leaders of those countries may say, we'll accept your apology, but unfortunately, the tariffs you guys imposed led us to make a 20-year commitment to China. So the next 20 years, we can't bring that business relationship back because it's already gone. So I do believe that, you know, when you say, what do I see about the future of America? You're probably going to have a very apologetic government in place eventually, because you're right. What Trump is doing is hurting relationships. And I think the main issue was, I think the Trump administration and a lot of folks in this country believed that we were far more powerful and independent than we actually are. And a lot of the smaller nations showed that they do have some options, like with Iran. I don't think the Trump administration anticipated what would happen if they shut down the Strait of Hormuz. They just thought it would be a pushover. And now we're dealing with this for weeks, just like Russia. Russia went into the Ukraine probably with the same mindset. This will be a cakewalk, and it's lasting forever. But if we apologize to you, Mr. Greenland, you won't accept.
Oh man, it's gonna be a long process. I think it's gonna take generations. It's to get this respect, get it back. It's a long process. Bad stuff have long memories.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, America has a long history, Mr. Greenland, of breaking promises, and we've done just fine. We normally can find some kind of sweet spot to get people to forgive. I mean, we were founded on breaking treaties and promises with the original inhabitants of this country. And we've been doing it ever since to many countries. And we always can find a way to get you guys to forgive us.
How many people do you think Native American lost their lives when the
A lot. Smallpox alone killed a lot of them.
Yeah, it's about 32 million Native people lost their lives when the white man moved to America.
Yeah. But we always can find something you guys like or favor and get back into your good graces. Greenland has to want something. We just have to find the next president. We'll have to work with, you know, who your prime minister is or who the prime minister is at that time. Maybe make him wealthier. Maybe offer him some kind of legacy wealth. Whatever it takes, we normally can find a way to get back in your good graces.
Oh, yeah, but that was the past when America was sole power and American dollar was the economy of the world. Now you have a competition that called BRICS.
Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine there are going to be, after seeing what has happened with America, how we've kind of gone rogue in the eyes of the rest of the world. I can see them doing things to put safeguards in place to prevent us from electing another, you know, far right, far left president, in this case, far right, that does something like this. They're going to probably put safeguards in place, such as what you mentioned with Germany. Maybe we need to start, purchasing more weapons for our own defense, just in case a guy comes along and says, well, NATO is useless. I mean, so, yeah, I can see some of that, but a lot of apologizing, Mr. Greenland, that's what it's going to take.
Yeah, when such as a long memory, we know what happened in Second World War, and we know the history of Germany was extremely horrific history. Yeah. We still remember that. That's why we mentioned Nazis as a worst thing ever in the world, and that's its history, America reliving right now.
You see America as having similarities to Nazi Germany?
Fascists, yeah.
Explain. Give me some examples. Elaborate on what you're saying.
Yeah, like a politician, as fascism started, as Mussolini started it, and followers were fanatic people, like a cult.
You're saying that Trump followers are fanatic people, like they're in a cult? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
Mm.
Anything he says, they accept it.
Yeah.
It's like, it's incredible watching from outside. It's getting so bad so quickly. You don't even see it because you're like a frog in a boiling water, truly boiling water.
Man, you make this sound depressing. How hard is it to move from America to Greenland? You got room for it, brother?
Yes, you can apply, and everybody can move to Greenland as long as you provide for Greenland, and it's not that difficult.
Really? You taking Americans right now? Sometimes when there's a conflict, you stop accepting passports from the conflicting country. You still letting Americans in there?
Yep. We would like to trade with anybody in the world, including America, if they behave.
Well, you said Trump is over there trying to, or Trump's administration is over there trying to negotiate. Maybe we can negotiate something to get to those rare earth minerals we're talking about.
Right now, the government on Greenland is saying no. We want to protect nature. It's the ore has uranium in it, and it's gonna be very poisonous for our nature, and it endangers with a lot of livelihood for many animals and production of fishery in entire West Greenland. So,
yeah, that's a problem because our administration is not big on all of this tree hugging nature stuff. We're capitalists, so it'll tear down your whole, it'll tear down all of your nature to get to the wealth that's under there. So we're capitalists in this country.
I saw some of in the commentary asking if they could buy land in Greenland. Greenland, as a citizen in Greenland, I cannot buy land in my own country because in Greenland, land is not for sale. But you can apply to build a specific spot in Greenland if you want to build a house. Then the house will be yours in perpetuity, and you don't pay taxes for having a house.
That ain't bad. I mean, it's kind of similar to that in America. In America, they say you own land, but you really are paying taxes to the government forever once you own the land. So you're really not owning it. You're paying on it forever. If you own something, you shouldn't have to pay any money on it at all. So as long as you're paying property taxes, in my opinion, you don't own the land. So you just can tell people in America, that's my land. No, it ain't. If you don't pay the government, they'll take your land pretty quickly. So you don't really own it here either. Mr. Greenland, I got to move it on, though. I'm hoping that our relationship, not just you and I, but our countries can remain positive going forward. I get our president has said a few things here and there that may have not come across properly, but understand that's not the sentiment of this whole country. It's one guy and a few folks that favor him. So,
and I would invite you to visit me so you can see our country.
I would love to come over there and see Greenland. What now? Are you at the point now where the sun doesn't set?
Yeah.
So it's daylight 24. It's daylight 24 hours a day over there right now.
Yeah, pretty much. The dark doesn't come up, but the sun hides behind the mountains, but it's not really dark anymore.
Wow, that's crazy.
And we still have snow, but outside is not cold.
That's different. I would love to just come over there and see how that is, where it's 2 a.m. and it's still light outside. That's just something I've never. I can't even imagine that. But it's a bucket list. It's a place I'd like to go. I do got to move it on to Mr. Greenland. Thanks. Good to hear from you again, man. I appreciate you coming through.
All right. See you. Talk to you later.
Yes, please. All right. Moving on. Tap the screen. Get the likes on up to 25,000. Jessica. Yeah. Appreciate the hat mustache. A few of you guys showing the program some love. Help your boy out with the hat mustache. TikTok cap goes. I don't know why the number is so damn high on that. I didn't set the goal that high. Wow. But anyway, show your boy some love. I don't expect to meet that goal. I don't know why it went so high. But anyway, Insomniac Me would love that. Well, they do have, I guess you would have to have, what do you call it? Room darkening curtains or whatever. I mean, I can't go to sleep. I'm the kind of guy that when the sun comes up, I rise. I wake up. So if the sun is up at 2 o'clock in the morning, or this, I don't think the sun is up. As he said, it goes down behind the mountains. So you can't see the actual sun, but the sky is still light. And yeah, that would be hard to sleep through. In the comments, if Canada wanted to, they can turn off the lights in Eastern Seaboard. Yeah, but the way our current administration is, we would probably go over there and commandeer whatever power plant they were shutting down. I mean, Trump would probably refer to that as a measure of national security. So if Canada turned the power off for the Eastern Seaboard, under Trump, there's not going to be a lot of negotiation. You've seen President Trump now long enough to know he responds with threats of violence. That's just what he does. If things are not going his way, he responds with threats to do something to you. Even when it comes to regular U.S. citizens, threats of jail time, threats of taking your career away, threats of punishing you financially. He generally responds to everything with a threat. So if Canada had done that, we would be threatening him. He can't deal. He can only demand. He demands very well. Tap the screen. By the way, if you're watching us on YouTube, I need you to smash that like button. It helps bring in more MAGA. This is uncensored programming. We don't block, ban, or censor any damn body on this program, including MAGA. We enjoy speaking to you as well. We're MAGA friendly. Liberals are welcome as well. So I do need you to smash that like button if you're watching on YouTube. He was the guy who was not only a businessman, but he's the author, producer of The Art of the Deal. He don't seem like a deal maker as president. It's more like a bully. You do what I want or we'll fuck you up. I don't see a lot of, how many great deals? Trump has been on the scene now as a politician for 11 years? Came down the Golden Escalator in 2015. How many great deals have you seen from him? It's just, we told such and such to do what we wanted and they did it. A lot of times the opposing side don't get anything out of it. They just bow down because he's threatening them. I'm not seeing the deals. Gregory, there are so many of us who have studied that shit, and some we're not folded by your bootlicking lying about. Wow. Tap the screen. Great deal for the rich. Yeah, the wealthy is doing very well under Trump. We'll go back to the box, tap the screen, get us on up to 20,000. We'll take the next caller. Looking in the comments briefly. I don't know what I'm looking at there, but we'll go to Big Bad Chief. Good evening, Big Bad Chief, if you will. What you say is not wrong, but don't forget that the USA also has brought freedom for every belief system, every kind of form of self-expression, and we value debate. I don't know if I agree with that. Now, I know you guys are talking in the comments. You're saying that the United States has brought freedom for every kind of person of every belief system. I think we have done that for some countries and we brag about them, but we also take freedom away from a lot of people and we just don't tell you about it. Most of the wars we've been involved in, conflicts, excursions, whatever synonym you want to use, since World War II, were not to free people. It was to limit the freedom of others, which kind of goes counter to the statement of I appreciate folks in the military because they're fighting for our freedom. No, in most cases, they're fighting to limit the freedoms of others. That's generally what's going on. Such and such is mistreating his own people, so we're going to go over there and tell them how they should treat people. Afghanistan is oppressing women, so we're going to go over there and show them how they should treat women. We're literally telling other countries what to do. We don't like socialism, so we're going to tell you how democracy should work. We're going to other countries and taking their freedom away. Now, the mindset is the way we do things is the way it should be done. So when we're done with you, you should be happy we came because we set you straight. But the fact is, we are forcing our way of life and our beliefs on other people. Didn't President Trump just have an excursion or conflict in Nigeria? Apparently, they were mistreating Christians or something like that. Right after 9/11, Muslims got mistreated in this country pretty bad. Right after September 11th, they started grabbing Muslims for any little thing. We do the same stuff. So, yeah, we are kind of pushing our way of life on other people. Now Trump is talking about Cuba. Cuba's not a threat to America. But he's talking about once again going over there because he don't like what they're doing and he's going to change it. That's not fighting for our freedom. That's going over there to limit the freedom of their government. Same thing in Venezuela. I mean, so no, we're actually telling people what to do, and we're using military might to make it happen. When we have to dish out all the money more than any other coming out of our pockets, yeah, that pisses me off. I didn't see what that one said, but to tap the screen, are we at 20,000? We'll take the next caller. I love that Donald Trump is going to be out of the White House soon. I don't know about that. What evidence what evidence do you have that Trump's going to be out of the White House soon? Do it over 2 years, maybe. What is your definition of soon? I'd like to know. It's intellectually weak to deny facts and reality. Well, you guys are talking to each other once again. Looking in the comments here, though, I blame the media. Anytime I see these comments, I'm already skeptical. Lonely Therapy says, I blame the media for even putting this guy in front of everybody to make you think that he is a good businessman. Oh, I didn't expect you to go that direction. Well, I don't think it was just the media. I think that Trump was very successful in his personal life, and he did project an image of wealth. So I wouldn't blame it on the media. I think people thought he was a good businessman because he was rolling in cash. He gave the image that he was rolling. Now, he may be selling the likeliness of his name, but people see a skyscraper with Trump on the side and they think he owns that. So he led people to believe he was doing very, very well. So I don't say the media did it. I think he was able to do a really good job at selling the image that he was wealthy. Real quick in the comments, let me go back to the box. A lot of lazy thumbs in here. Tap the screen, get the likes on up, if you will. We will go to user 08. I think that says. So you're for freedom of government and not for the citizens. Got it. Freedom of government. What do you mean by that? Freedom of government. No, I'm for freedom, period. If the people in the country vote in a politician, that's who is running their country. America should not be able to come along and say, well, we think that politician is not doing right by his people, so we're going to take him out of power. No, the people putting these folks in. I mean, look, at the end of the day, whether it's a democracy or a dictatorship, it's up to the people to stand up and take control of their country back. My personal belief is that anytime you hear America suggesting that they're going to attack a country because they want to help oppress people, we're lying. We have a history of oppressing people in this country. We don't have any sort of history of freeing oppressed people other than World War II. If you take the 10 years or so of World War II, actually it wasn't even 10 years. We got attacked on 41. We were not in World War II before the Japanese attacked us December 7, 41. So from 1941, the end of 1941 to what, 46? That's about it. That's about the only time in our history we were literally freeing oppressed people. Outside of that, we've been the oppressors. So anytime you hear us suggesting we're going somewhere to free oppressed people, that's generally a lie. And you think about all the conflicts we've been involved in since World War II. Can you give me one where we went to a country and the people were better off after we left? We've been a lot of places. Where have we made people better off? For the most part, we take out who we want to take out. Somebody else comes in, but for the citizens in that country, things don't get better. The country doesn't get wealthy or anything. We don't do much. Somebody mentioned Iraq. Iraq isn't doing that great right now. You want to send your family on a vacation to Baghdad? Iraq is not doing well right now. It's pretty much missing a dictator. So perhaps some folks are being treated better that maybe Saddam was oppressing, but there were people who Saddam was favorable to. They're not doing as well. That country's not blowing up since America left Iraq. In the comments, Dencal says, we were dragged into World War II kicking and screaming. And that is true. We wanted to remain neutral, even with Hitler doing all the shit he was doing. Let me go back to the box. We'll make it happen with Stick the Ruler. Tap the screen. Help your boy out with the hat, mustache, TikTok cap goals. Looking in the comments here, Stick, good evening. Welcome to the program. Good evening, Stick. You got echo. You got echo. Let me let him fix. He got a major echo there. While he's fixing that, I'll give him a minute. USA was asked to help in World War II, but chose not to. Yeah, we were. In fact, the Jewish fleeing the Holocaust were denied entry into this country. I mean, we later apologized to them. Yeah, you got a major echo. Stick, I got to drop you, Stick, until something's going on. You got a major echo. But yeah, I mean, we denied entry to the Jewish folks, just like the Ukrainians right now. A lot of them are refugees trying to get the hell out of the way when Russia came in there. We're not taking in many Ukrainian refugees. They're going to Poland and Romania. We're not helping a lot of them out. And the few Afghanis we let in the country, Trump is trying to deport them too. We don't have a history of letting refugees from war come in the country very much. We turn a lot of people away. I don't get along with ayatollahs or mullahs. Sorry. Nobody's asking you to get along with them. They're thousands of miles away. If we were not in their region, wreaking havoc and trying to tell people what to do over there, we wouldn't be in danger. Keep in mind, President Trump, and I'll go to the next caller, tap the screen, get us up to 30. Keep in mind, you hear from President Trump, we've been at war with them for 47 years, or they've been at war with us for 47 years. They're yelling death to America. You hear Trump say that. Why are they doing that? Why would they pick a nation thousands of miles away and just go death to America? Why aren't they yelling death to Saudi Arabia or, death to Jordan? Countries that are much closer. Why did they pick America to yell death to America? They're not yelling death to Germany. There's a reason behind that. But the propaganda we're being fed is they just, for some strange reason, just started hating America for no reason at all. Nothing was going on. We were over here minding our business. They were over there minding their business, and they just started hating us for no reason at all. There's more to the story, folks. Dark truth. Good evening. Welcome to the program. Many Americans are leaving America. All it takes is a few minutes of research. Yeah, I know some Americans that are living overseas now. Dark truth. Good evening.
Well, you know what? We wouldn't be in this mess in the first place. I'm going to be honest.
Sure.
If Trump hadn't got rid of the JPCOA, right? And he got rid of it, said it was a terrible idea. And now Iran is saying, okay, you want to mess around and play around? They're fighting back, bro. Let's be honest. But
here's something I don't get. Because you mentioned the deal with Obama that Trump said was a bullshit deal, and that's why he got rid of it. Now, under Biden, because the minute we get rid of the Iran deal, that gives Iran the right to start enriching uranium again. But under the Biden administration, Trump was trolling them constantly. Trump was bringing up all of the policies of Biden, the economy, gas prices, groceries, etc. You notice under Biden, there was not a major push about Iran is developing nuclear weapons and Biden sitting on his ass. It wasn't even coming up. All of a sudden, Trump gets elected, and suddenly it's a major issue now. We need to do something about it now, and we don't have to worry about the economy. Does that make sense?
The economy stinks right now. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, Nothing is good. I can say I voted for Kamala, right? But, I mean, the economy is so bad right now. I hate it. I don't care if you are a Trump supporter or not. You cannot sit back and just say that the economy is doing well. Because, everywhere you go, because he said, day one, I'm bring down grocery prices. Day one, I'm going to bring down food prices. I'm not going to start any conflicts. I'm not going to start any wars, right?
Yeah.
And now we are in a conflict. And even you can go back to what I was saying, right? He got this involved in the Abraham Accords. I know are you familiar with the Abraham Accords that he put in?
Yeah.
That was another major play of what, Iran with the getting the nuclear weapons, right? I mean, he didn't do anything.
He literally
he made it worse.
I think Trump viewed virtually every deal we were involved in as a bad deal when he became president. NATO, UN, Paris Accord, NAFTA. Like everything we were involved in was a bad deal, according to Trump.
They were helping. And I say it like this: if it was such a bad idea, right? Why didn't you do something about it? And he didn't do anything about it. You know, I mean, I wish he had done something because, I mean, on his, you know, when Biden, he had put some sanctions on Iran, right? And then Trump got in there, you know, maybe lifted the sanctions off. I'm not for sure. I have to really look into that, right? But, and then he starts throwing tariffs. I mean, like, how is that helping anybody? I mean, and it's not helping Americans. Let's be honest, our gas prices are extremely high right now.
I mean, and I know I'm going to get criticized from my beloved MAGA for what I'm saying, but if you look at the performance of President Trump, the orders and policies, I don't think it was about helping Americans. I think it was about a few folks getting rich. Most of the stuff he is doing is beneficial to him and folks at the top. I mean, like for instance, if he takes Greenland, you're probably going to get no bid contracts from people that he know to extract those materials. I mean, people in his circle are getting wealthy. I don't think it ever was about the average American. I think it was about a few folks. I mean,
he told Americans he doesn't care about America. I don't know if you've seen that clip that went viral with him, but he says, I don't care about America. I don't care if it's going to suffer. What I do care about is, you know, that crap that's going on in the Middle East. I mean, what do you think about that?
I don't, he says a lot of things that I have no idea why a politician would say, such as, I don't think about American finances, or as you say, he also said, what did he say? I don't care about you. I just need your vote. And he's made these statements in the comments. Hold on a second. In the comments, First Watch, feel free to put in your request, First Watch. I know he's MAGA. He says a bunch of losers having no idea what it takes to be a leader. And he's talking about, you know, you're lying or whatever, but he's not adding any. Add some meat to your sandwich. I'll bring you up, First Watch. Bring your you know, put yourself in the box. We'll give you plenty of time, but your comments are just, you're lying. That says nothing. But yeah, Dark Truth, I don't understand why he makes such damning comments. Why would a politician say, I don't think about Americans' finances? I don't get that.
When he was running, and I think, and I've been saying this, right? Come the midterms, it's not, I mean, Democrats are going to win, right?
Are you sure?
Because if we look at the way the country is going right now with a Republican control, right? Let's be honest here. What have Republicans actually done to fix anything in this country? I want to see, what have they done to bring down inflation, food prices? What have they done? Because Trump's biggest thing running was the economy. Yeah. And now the economy, a lot of people, even farmers, are pissed off because of fertilizer, because the majority of fertilizer we get from over the Middle East, right? Yeah. And it's affecting the farmer. So, I just want to hear what you think on that, but I don't think economically on the economy.
If you're going on the finances of the average American on economics, they're right now, Trump hasn't done much for the average working American. Now, people that are upper middle class and wealthy, they can give you things because the stock market's booming. Folks at the top have done well under Trump. But Trump's biggest strengths, I guess, for the average working man, they're going to bring up the border, and you know, he's gotten transgender out of schools. These little victories that mean nothing to their own daily life. He's make the liberals cry and all of this kind of stuff. He's going after The View or Jimmy Kimmel. These are the things that folks who are average, everyday working class people celebrate the accomplishments of Trump. But that stuff does not affect their daily lives. But for the upper class, yeah, he's doing things that is financially beneficial to them.
I don't think he's helping anyone. I mean, you got God forsake, you know, those Trump phones. I don't know if you heard about that.
Yeah, I did a video on 590,000 people put a deposit down.
And people are and I'm like, how much more does he have to grip and lie?
They don't believe that, though. But Dark Truth, this isn't Nick Shirley. And by the way, Nick Shirley, if he really was concerned with waste, fraud, and abuse, he would be all over that Trump phone story. But if you don't believe CNN or MS Now is giving you genuine news and you only watch Fox or Newsmax, or you're getting your news from, Glenn Beck or somebody on the internet, they're not talking about that Trump phone story. Because I covered that and posted some videos. All of my MAGA viewers, that's just bullshit. It's made up. It's AI. They don't believe it's even happening.
You know what? I'm not going to say all MAGA are bad.
Thank you.
They're
Thank
not.
you.
But I can tell you right now, I didn't run across some nasty MAGAs where I've been called the N-word. They didn't call my wife fat. They didn't call me fat. I've been called all sorts of racist slurs under the sun. And I'm sure you know your views, right?
Yeah, I get it.
But I need people to understand this, and I'm going to say this, and you may or may not agree with it. What's going to happen is that people are going to have to start distancing themselves from Donald Trump and push towards something, because the Republicans are pissed off. I'm a Republican.
Did you vote for Trump?
I voted for Trump in 2016.
Not 2020 or 2024?
I voted for Trump in 2016, and I voted for Biden and Kamala.
Wow.
And I was pissed off him on his first term. And I'm not going to really get on why, but I'm so pissed off at Trump right now. And I need people to understand this. I say it doesn't even matter, even if it was Gavin Newsom. Hell, I hate Gavin Newsom down to the T. But I would tell you right now, I would vote for a pink polka dotted green alien before I vote for any Republican or conservative. I cannot do it.
Why are you so upset at virtually all Republican politicians? Your beef is with Trump. I know the answer, but I want to hear you. Why are you pissed off with all the other Republicans?
Because I felt that they have a lot of the Republicans they're shifting over to MAGA, and then they're forgetting their roots of what America is. Because I believe in America first. I believe that you come in the country illegally. I believe in safe borders. I believe in all those things, right? I do lean very conservative, but I also will push back and I will push back on the left and the liberals as well. You're also responsible for this as well.
Yeah.
In my opinion, Joe Biden had dementia. He should have stepped down. But then Kamala has 109 days to campaign. I told people this. Trump is going to win the election because I am so pissed off even at the liberals at this point.
So let me ask you, since we're predicting elections, what's going to happen in the midterms? Are the Democrats going to lose the midterms? They're behind the gerrymandering war. Are they going to lose the midterms?
I still think Democrats will pull through. I think the Democrats will win the election for the midterms. Presidency might be a different story. Now, I tell you right now, if J.D. Vance runs, I'm not going to vote on the Republican ticket.
Would you vote? Would you elect Marco Rubio, the smartest one in the room?
I would consider Rubio over Gavin, in kind of my opinion, right? I mean, I like Rubio. I'm not a big fan of Gavin, but if J.D. Vance was running against Gavin, I would vote Gavin. That's how I would vote.
So you would pick Gavin Newsom over J.D. Vance, but you would pick Rubio over Gavin Newsom.
I like Rubio. I like Marco Rubio. I like his stance and a lot what he's. And I don't think he even likes Trump. I think he's kind of pushed a distance.
Yeah, but he's riding with him, though, Dark. I listen. If Marco Rubio had lost the primary against Trump, took the little Marco stuff in stride and just sat on the sidelines as a Republican until his turn came up in 2028, I think I could understand your reasoning a lot more. But fact is, out of all of the stuff you're pointing out from the Trump administration that you believe is detrimental to America and the Republican politicians, he is in that group. So when you vote for him in 2028, you're voting for part of that group.
I understand what you're saying. I just don't like J.D. Vance. And I think he's worse than Trump, in my opinion, right?
Okay.
He's 10 times worse. I mean, you may not agree with that, but I think he's like an unhinged version of Donald Trump.
I don't think J.D. Vance, for folks on the left, I'm going to put my liberal hat on now instead of my MAGA hat. I don't think J.D. Vance is 10 times worse than Trump because I don't think J.D. Vance has anywhere near the support of President Trump. Even if J.D. Vance is further right or further unhinged as you're suggesting. Nobody has the love and adoration of supporters like Trump does with MAGA. JD Vance, this is what I tell my Republican viewers all the time who say the Democrats have no leader going forward in 2028. I'm like, whoever you guys put forward is not going to be Trump either. I mean, even Marco Rubio, he ain't Trump. He's not going to have the support, love, and all. He don't have the energy of Trump. He don't have any of that. So, I mean, both sides are going to go ahead.
Let me ask you an honest question. If Kamala puts her hat in the ring, we'll just say in some reality, you know, I know you're lying,
yeah,
but I would say in reality, right? Because she did say she was thinking about running. Do you think she would have a shot of winning if it was JD Vance? And just based off of everything we've seen from this administration, the e-files, the line about the economy, just in general, like, because people are even pissed off about the files. So let's be honest about here. The half of America is so pissed off that we did not, or they did not get enough of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think, now this is a hypothetical, I don't think Kamala would win, but if she put her hat in the ring, would people go out and just support enough to
I don't. That's a good question. I don't recommend Kamala Harris run. I've been saying for the longest that I think the Democrats in this environment. And thank you, Big Bank Hank. Appreciate that laughing disco. I've said that the Democrats need to put forward a straight white Christian male. I don't think they need to put any minority or woman or LGBTQ up like Buttigieg, straight white Christian male. But in regards to your question, yeah, I think she would have a chance. I don't know if I'm with you. I don't know if she would win, but I think even against Rubio, who's much more of a fan favorite than JD Vance, I think she would. The amount of disgruntled Americans against the Trump administration, in my opinion, my advice would be the Republicans need to put up somebody that's not from that administration. Because even Rubio, the smartest one in the room, you got to answer for a lot of this shit. I mean, calling these folks domestic terrorists and some of your deportation policies, he seems to be favorable of taking over Cuba. He's got to answer for that shit. So,
well, it's good to go deeper than this. I mean, and you may not agree with this, but I think this is where it's going to hurt them with the majority, also the black vote. Because, and like I said, you may or may not agree with this, the Voting Rights Act.
Ooh.
People, that is going to hurt the base of them, regardless whether you think it's about any type of whatever, right? That voting, the Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act, that is going to hurt. They are not going to get the support of the black vote. I get maybe a small percentage of it, but I'm telling you, the black vote is not going to support.
Trump didn't get a lot of support from the black community even last. I mean, better than Romney and McCain and Bush going, he did increase it, but yeah, he's lost that. That's all gone.
And I also think he's lost the Hispanic vote.
Yeah.
Because the way I think a lot was going on with ICE and the deportations. Look, I think I do agree with Trump. Get the legal criminals out of the country. We need to do that. If you're here, you break the law, you need to go. But just seeing people get hurt or mowed down in the street, and then I hear MAGA saying, "Oh, Alex Preddy deserved it, Renee Good." I don't think no one deserved anything. Were they justified? I'm not going to really get into that. But what I'm saying, when we see people be unalived in the street, right, that people are going to be pissed off about that.
I get your point. What you're basically saying is, Renee Nicole Good accused of, trying to run over an office. So what you're saying is, I'm not going to get into the semantics of whether it was justified or not. What you're saying is it shouldn't be celebrated. And the right was celebrating their deaths.
Yes, we should not celebrate. I mean, even what the left did, and then I called them out for that, right? And I says, look, even though I think Charlie Kirk was a racist, nasty, ugly person, right?
You're conservative and you believe that Charlie Kirk was racist and nasty?
I think he said some pretty nasty things that was racist.
Okay. So do I, but I'm not conservative.
I mean, I think with some of the things he could say, I'm not really get into it because I know you probably want to get someone else on. But what I'm saying is this. Do I think that his blasting or him losing his life? Yeah, there we go.
You got haters. I'll finish your sentence. I'm moving on, but finish your sentence.
I'll just say this, right, in closing. I don't agree that he should have lost his life.
Neither do I. Good point. Neither
Amen.
do I.
All
right. Thank you, Dark Truth. Good call. Tap the screen. Get the likes on up to 55,000. And we'll make the program. He said something I wanted to respond to. I don't know they'll get the support of the black voters that got off the Democrat plantation. No, they're not going to. Look, under Trump's first term, and I was one of the ones getting hit by liberals that were pissed off what I was saying, but we could bring up HBCUs. He created jobs in the black community. There was a few things to bring up. In my opinion, it wasn't substantial, but there were things you could bring up that Trump did that helped the black community specifically. There's nothing this second term. In fact, he's done things to hurt the black community. There's nothing to bring up this time. In fact, this go round, if you ask MAGA, that wants to defend Trump with minorities, what has he done for the black community? The first time they had answers. The second time, well, we don't really see color. Why you always got to go to race? He's doing for the whole country. We don't see color. They've moved away from that because there is nothing there. This second go round, all of them firings from Doge, a lot of them were African Americans, a lot of them were women, sent in the military and ICE into a lot of heavily minority-oriented cities. It's not good this time. He had a few things to bring up in his first term. There's nothing there. So, no, I don't believe that Trump is going to do well with the black vote this time. The first time it was vote for me. What have you got to lose? Chicago's a shithole. The cities are still the same way they were before. Since he served a full term. And he still says Chicago's a shithole. So after you did 4 years, you didn't improve Chicago at all, but you campaigned on it being a shithole. You didn't do nothing about it. And by the way, under Obama's presidency, or even Biden for that matter, we held Biden accountable for not improving liberal cities. You don't hear the right saying anything about the fact that liberal cities didn't improve under Trump. They're not saying anything about it at all. So go figure. Just like Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, he's been held accountable for the crime and homelessness in Los Angeles and San Francisco. They often tie him into that. There's plenty of crime going on in Memphis and St. Louis. You don't hear them blaming the Republican governors of Missouri or Tennessee for the crime in Memphis. No, they go all the way down to the mayor all of a sudden. When it's a liberal governor, you're responsible for the crime in your cities. When it's a Republican governor, well, then we go down to the liberal mayor. So it's kind of like blame the highest ranking liberal you can find. Tap the screen, get the lights on up. Arc VD, just hold off on the spamming. We see your comments though. He wants to call me Uncle Ruckus or something like that. Anyway, Christianity is being defended. Who's threatening Christianity? Being defended in what way? Tim, go to the FBI stats. What does it say here? Crime is down under Trump, at least researching before. Crime was coming down under Biden, though. Just like the economy was coming around under Biden. But you want to not give credit when it's happening under a liberal, then the same thing happens under Trump and suddenly it deserves credit. You got to make that make sense. But the FBI statistics showed that crime was coming down under Biden too. You think crime is coming down in Chicago, for instance. Yet the right makes it sound like Chicago continues to be the Gaza Strip. You don't hear the right talking about crime is coming down in Chicago at all, unless they're doing what you're doing, Stevie D, using it to defend Trump. On its face, if it's not a conversation about the crime rates under Trump, you'll never hear the right talk about crime is coming down in Chicago at all. It will only be mentioned when you're trying to use it to defend Trump. Real quick in the comments, tap the screen, get us up to 60,000. Happy boy with the hat mustache, TikTok cap goals, not a lot of love today. Might be a bad show. I'm also asking you, before we continue on with the next caller, what the economic metrics being so poor right now, why are we gerrymandering districts? Why are we doing that? I mean, why are we gerrymandering districts to give Trump an edge in the midterms when he's doing so poorly with the economy? I don't get that. Marty Marr, yeah, appreciate the hat mustache. Like in Texas, he started out in Texas. He said, I deserve 5 additional seats. Why would the people in Texas not push back and say, in this economy, you don't deserve shit? We're at war because of you. Why you say, what makes you think you deserve more seats? Why are we gerrymandering in favor of him right now in this current environment? His first term, I could understand. The economy was doing well. Not in this economy. Why would you, going into the midterms right now, some of the economic metrics right now are the worst they've been in a long time. Debo, thank you for the TikTok cap. Appreciate that. I don't get it. Why would we be gerrymandering to give him more power right now? Do you want more of what we're going through right now? This man is not conservative either, says, you didn't think my last caller was conservative? They say the same about you, handsome conservative. Straight Talk used to say that. Going back to the box, and thank you for the hat mustache, Stevie D. Thank you. Appreciate that, my man. Let me go straight to the box. We'll make it happen with, I'm not even going to be able to pronounce that. Nothing is worse now than under Biden. We're at war. It is worse. We're at war. We're spending $2 billion a day at war. That wasn't happening under Biden. It is worse. What are you talking about? Are we skipping over that part? Nothing is worse. And also, let me say this. We've had, it depends on how old you are, but we've had several presidents going, during our lifetimes. Most of us at least lived through the 8 years of Bush, 8 years of Obama, 4 years of Biden, and now at least 6 years of Trump almost. Some of you folks have lived through 8 years of Clinton and 4 years of HW and maybe even 8 years of Reagan. Most of us were kids back then. But anyway, the point I'm making is, out of that list of presidents I just gave you, many folks on the right would say Biden was one of the worst ones out of all of those. Maybe they would go after Obama, but chances are, if you ask folks on the right, what's the worst president we've had in our lifetime, they're either going to say Biden or Obama. So when you're making statements like nothing is worse now than under Biden, my question is, that shows you think Trump sucks, because you're comparing him to one of the worst presidents you can imagine. Why not compare him to Reagan? Why not compare him to a guy that was successful? You got to compare him to a failure in your eyes to make him look good. And you're kind of making it clear you don't think he's doing well. You just got to find somebody who did worse. You're making it clear he's not a success. Thank you for that, Stevie D. And somebody else sent me something there I want to make. Tim, there's no goal set. It's showing it over here. Well, nevertheless, if there's no goal, show your boy some love regardless. TikTok cap had mustache. It's showing it to me. I'll have to see if I can fix that. Let me go back to the box and we'll make it happen with Miss Mo Better. Good evening, Miss Mo.
Hi, Phil.
Hey.
Hey, everybody.
Good to have you on. So why would we gerrymander districts in the middle of a faltering economy for the guy that's giving it to us? Does that make sense?
You know why they do that? Simply because he can't win without cheating. And to me, that says he cheated the last time. They cheated the last time for him to get there. Now you got to continue to do it.
But
because first of all, they have. That's cute.
Yeah, that is very nice. Thank you.
Hey now, because if their numbers, Stevie D, if their numbers are doing so well and there's such a low approval rating of the Democrats and all that stuff, why are they gerrymandering? I truly want to know that. Why do they have to go to these measures if everything is in their favor right now? Yeah,
I don't get that.
Shut up. You lost. You slow.
Who are you talking? Who did you say that?
Talk about I'm lost. You talking to the wrong one, bro.
Yeah, but I actually do not understand that. You're right. If Trump is doing so well running the country, why do he need to pop up and say I deserve 5 more seats? Why wouldn't you just win them? I mean, So yeah, something doesn't make sense there.
Listen, see, and this is what happens when you get into these type of discussions, then the whataboutisms come. Because they have no real defense to the questions that we ask. And these are genuine questions. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all are seeing the same numbers that we're seeing. The numbers ain't lying.
Well, what some of the folks in the comments is claiming is that the Democrats started the gerrymander. But let me just say this. Trump won in 20. Go ahead. What you say?
You know better, right? You know.
Yeah, not only that, but I'm gonna say it like this. Trump won in 2024 under those maps. Whatever, because you're saying the Democrats started the gerrymandering. Whatever gerrymandering you want to blame on the Democrats, it didn't happen before the 2024 election. So Trump won, according to him, by a landslide under those maps. So why would he need to gerrymander going forward if he's doing such a great job?
Exactly, with all the same people and
Yeah.
you understand? See,
Thank you.
This time he came in with such a vengeance. He got to cutting people and firing people and doing all kinds of stuff because they want to make this quote unquote white Christian male America. To them, that's what make America great again means. It's all about white Christian, fake ass Christian males. That's what that's all about. And they're afraid that if we continue to allow this, we can't have a female in there, a black person in there. They don't want nobody that look like us in there.
Well,
that's their way of solidifying it.
What
gerrymander, they don't need representation because we're going to do what we want to do anyway. Thanks, Supreme Court.
Well, not to sound like the old movie Blazing Saddle, but what are white women there? How do the white women feel about this? I mean, is it?
They never really had a voice. They always rival what their husbands said.
Ooh.
For the most part. When what's his name, Gen X ball mouth ass, he get up there and say, go in there and make me a sandwich. That's how they see their women. You shut up, you get in that kitchen and fix me something to eat.
2026, you still think they see women like that now?
Absolutely.
But the women themselves, because I got into a debate on Facebook with a woman, a feminist. She was a white girl. She was a feminist or whatever the case may be. And she's talking about men have created all the problems throughout history. And I told her, I was like, you guys continue putting men in power. I mean, like in America, for instance, you can vote. Trump is still doing very well, not just Trump, but male politicians. They still do very well with you guys. Plenty of women run for office and lose. If you thought the men are fucking up, why won't you vote for some women? Kamala Harris didn't do well with women.
Exactly. And that's the crazy part for me. That's what I would genuinely like to know too. You had women in places where we could have, and she's right. Men have been the fuck ups here. The numbers don't lie. Every president of this country has been a male, with the exception of one black one.
Yeah, but I don't want to just participate in male bashing. I mean, a lot of
No, this is not male bashing. I'm just speaking about statistics right now.
Yeah, but when you say
statistically, it's the truth.
no, because you got to take into consideration all the technological and medical advances. A lot of that's come from men too. They didn't just fuck up. They've done a lot of great shit as well. I mean,
they have. But again, taking the fuck ups come along with the territory. Well, who else they gonna blame for it? Who else can you hold accountable for the fuck ups or even the good stuff that's happened here when there's been a specific majority of one group of people in power?
Well, I'm going to say, if at the very least, women are an accessory. If I'm fucking up as a politician, as a man, and you keep voting me in, then you're an accessory to the fuck up.
But that goes back to what I said. A lot of them follow what their husbands say.
Well,
When you watch these interviews and stuff like that, a lot of them they're as a couple, and the husband is doing most of the speaking, and she just backs whatever he said. You understand what I'm saying? That would be an awful conversation at their dinner table where the husband is saying, "Oh, I vote for Trump or whoever," and the wife says the opposite. Well, how do you think that's going to pan out?
Well, to be honest with you, then maybe you don't need to lead. If you can't even, if you're being submissive to your husband and letting him lead, then damn it, let him lead in politics. You seem like you want to be submissive. In the comments, Hanson Conservative says, don't forget the women that hold office take the same bribes as men do. Well, it's not enough of them. There are some that do that. But he also says that's because women would rather make us a sandwich than to dye their hair blue and vote Democrat. So
whatever that means.
Well, he's saying conservative women would rather be submissive to their husbands, make them a sandwich than dye their hair blue and become a Democrat.
Well, it is what it is. Listen, I'm not here to change none of y'all minds about nothing. Because at the end of the day, we don't know who you vote for when you go behind that curtain. You don't. Until the numbers come out. We don't know, and you can still, unless you tell people who you vote for, they still don't know who you voted for.
That is
so
true.
You have a lot of people that do be lying.
Yeah.
They'll get up here. Now we're in the age where you can come on these apps and grift your ass off.
That is true.
I'm gonna get as many people as I need to my page. I'm gonna talk to the masses. I'm gonna speak to the masses because that gets them paid. So now you're not really gonna get an honest answer.
Yeah, I don't disagree that there are plenty of folks who say one thing and then go in the voting booth and do something else. Jason in the comments says, for your last caller to say he would vote for anybody from Trump's cabinet is sick. And how the hell did this guy vote for Trump ever? Con man since 1990. Well, my last caller did say he voted for Trump, but only in 2016. So how do you feel about, do you hold Trump supporters that have come around and are now seeing things your way? Do you hold them accountable for the fact that they put him in to begin with?
Yeah, you know why? Because the stuff we're seeing now, we knew what he was going to get into. It wasn't no secret. It was. Of course, he lied about everything he said he was going to do. But again, he wasn't doing that much before he Tim. How much more when he got presidency the first time? He was handed. I'm not going to say it was perfect, but he was handed a good economy.
Yeah.
When it was time for him to president, he dropped the ball. How many lives were lost under his presidency? That right there should have been enough for anybody, because I'm almost willing to bet that everybody on this app damn near lost somebody in their family due to his negligence.
The COVID. Yeah. Here's the thing I will say, though. I don't hold former Trump supporters accountable. First of all, if you're on the left, you got to realize you need those folks when it comes to voting. Second thing I will say is this. I don't fault anybody who fell for the promises of a candidate. I say this all the time. I even totally understand why blacks voted for him. He promised a lot of good shit. And so there were some folks who didn't like the Biden economy. Maybe they didn't think Kamala Harris had the experience or whatever, which I think she qualified, but they have a difference of opinion. And you got Trump in there who don't serve a full term already. And the economy was good until he fucked up COVID. But other than the pandemic, his first term wasn't bad. And he's promising all this great shit.
That pandemic was enough to last a lifetime, Tim. And see, this is the part where people are missing. They keep saying, "Oh, the economy under Biden was high." First of all, he was handling the global pandemic, number one.
Yeah.
And then when he left office, they weren't checking the numbers. He had maybe seven months of growth. Of the numbers climbing as far as the economy goes. It got up to maybe 9% or something. But when he left office, it was 2.97 to 2.9%. That's a hell of a drop.
Yeah, when they say that, as bad as things are right now, it's still not as bad as it was under Biden. It's exactly what you're talking about. They're comparing right now to the worst of Biden, because you're right. There were parts of Biden's presidency where things were better than they are right now. They're picking the worst of Biden's presidency to make it make sense, and that's usually during the pandemic.
Yep, exactly. On a pandemic, that Trump actually had a blueprint of how to handle these things once it faced. But what he do? He went in there and fired all the people that were the advisors for that, didn't he? Mm-hmm. Did he not? Yeah. He wanted his objective was to get in and dismantle anything that had Obama's name attached to it. And they want to talk about what other presidents do. Nobody's done more executive orders than Trump has. He done tripled their amount. president does the auto pay. Don't take my word for it. Go look it up.
Good point. And real quick in the comments, somebody asked me, how do I like the New York City mayor? You talking about Mamdani? The people in New York seem happy with him. I don't hear a whole bunch of complaints. Most of the people complaining about Mamdani do not live in New York. They seem quite happy with him. Huh?
That's the funny part.
Yeah, the people complaining about, like, you want him to run Mamdani like Huntsville, Alabama. That's not where his people like what he's doing. So until I see the people of New York complaining, I'm going to leave it at that. And I know he calls himself. Go ahead.
People that ask that dumbass question don't like it because of his name.
Well, that in the socialism label.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
The socialism label. But the citizens of New York seem happy with him. They're not bitching and complaining about him. So
listen, if he's trying to get to the point where he done opened up stuff for people to have childcare, early education. He's opened up a lot of things that are helping working class people that are not in that top percentage. You know what I'm saying? New York has a lot of that.
He could actually be the guiding light, since Bernie Sanders didn't win the presidency. He could be the guiding light for AOC, which some folks are saying, because socialism is still a bad word in America. But now that you got the number one city ran by a socialist guy, if he does well, he's going to convince a lot of people that socialism is not as bad as they've been told.
No, it's not. See what it is? People, you have to check the sources sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Because what's happening now, people are not going to do any kind of research. They're going to True Social and seeing whatever Trump puts up there, it's gospel. It's gospel in their eyes. It doesn't matter whether it's a lie or whatever.
You think even right now as we speak, MAGA still views Trump's words as, Trump has said so much in regards to the Iran war that's turned out not to be true. Are people still viewing his words as gospel?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, look, like they did, he done robbed them without a GUN for them fake ass phones, just like his fake ass university. I don't understand what part of him do they not see that's fake? That he's fake as fuck. What part? Like y'all say, some guy say he ordered 4 phones and his son ordered 4. And guess what? And the clause, and this goes to show you how they don't read. In the clause, it said you're not guaranteed to get any product.
Oh, damn.
You would not have to. The money was non-refundable.
How could you? A judge can throw out a contract if it's like, how can you have a contract where somebody's paying you for a device you know they're looking for, and having a contract you may not get anything? This is not a stock market. You're selling them a phone. How could you tell them they may not get anything?
I say he got y'all again.
Wow.
He got y'all again. Sure did.
Yeah, that was just.
What's going to happen is they're going to have to file a class action lawsuit. And, as long as he is in presidency, he's going to keep pushing it until it goes away.
That's just robbery.
That's his character, though. Yeah. I don't expect anything less from him because that's who he is. Look at you guilty 34 counts for doing that same shit.
MAGA don't believe the Trump phone story is valid. In the comments,
that's why their ass is gonna keep paying too.
Ooh, but before I move it on from you, I got a comment I gotta tackle. It's in caps, coming from Sister Chris. I'm assuming, is that a female? Sister Chris. That's a conflict of terms. Anyway, Sister Chris says there was absolutely no reason any black person should have voted for Trump. Do you agree with that?
He does not like us. And that's very, I do agree with him. And when y'all talking about him and his HBCUs, he did not want to give no money to HBCUs. He didn't want to give them. Somebody else had to get in there and force him to do it. And that's the truth. That's not an opinion. What he wanted to do was give it to those other other schools that had black people enrolled.
Under his
not to an HBCU.
Under his first term, Ms. Mobetta, I didn't see all of this evidence that Trump doesn't like black people. I didn't. What was he doing? Yeah, now it's gotten bad. Now I can see the complaints, but under his first term.
Well, when his first term, he had a lot of people around him he had a lot of good advisors around him. Yeah, a lot of PR, people that were specialized in public relations and stuff. So the advisors were good. Now there are none. There's nobody, no guardrails at all now. So he's like, I can show my orange ass, and ain't nobody gonna do a goddamn thing about it.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, there were things to defend Trump on for folks who said he don't, huh?
He raggedy as fuck. Listen, I know you're a collector of things. I hope you ain't send your $100 for that phone.
No, and I may have took a chance on that one, but no, I didn't. I didn't hear about it. I got to move it on, Mr. Mobetta, but no, I didn't. And thank God I didn't.
I must speak because they keep saying Democrats keep making everything about race because race be at the top of the ticket. Because you're not paying attention doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. It does exist. Now look at all of the shit that he's done as far as black people since he got in office this time. Yeah, the gerrymandering
and the
gerrymandering is one thing.
Yeah.
He was finding generals and the lady in the library. Everybody he was attacking the black people because that means he was playing in our face. That means he DEI thinking that the black people that were in those high positions didn't earn them. They were given to them because they were black. Stop. Race does play a big factor.
It always does.
I implore you to get your ass off this app, go sit in somebody's fucking library and learn some shit.
Well, you gotta believe what you're reading. Mr. Mobetta, though, thank you for coming through.
Indeed. Thanks, peoples.
Appreciate it. By the way, conservative says race is at the top of your ticket. That's why you lost. Race is always at the top of the Democratic ticket. It's been that way since 1964. I mean, think about it. I'm sure, I'm trying to think back. Kennedy, hell, I mean, I'm sure when they were running against Nixon, race was coming up. When they were running against Reagan, race was coming up. I know I'm old enough to remember it being brought up against George H.W. in the early 90s. Yeah, it's always been at the top of the Democrat ticket. So I don't think it's got anything to do with why the Democrats lost. I mean, fact is, people on the right are always going to see racial issues in America differently than the African American and minority communities. I mean, in fact, people on the right, when they see race, is generally white victims, like Trump said. A DEI or affirmative action. Some of this stuff is hurting white people. But when it comes to African Americans complaining about systemic racism or police racism, most right-leaning people don't see that stuff. It ended hundreds of years ago, or you're making it out to be something that is not. And that's been that way our entire lives. I don't even know how old you are. I'm talking to a bunch of people, hundreds of people. I don't even know how old you guys are, but I can tell you that the right side of the aisle has always seen race differently than folks on the. Even when the Democrat Party was the conservative party, when Democrats were conservatives and Republicans were progressives, the Democrats leaned right. They still saw race differently than minority communities. It's always been that way. I think it always will. I don't blame the Republicans for electing Trump. Blame the Democrats for having a bad candidate. I would say then you blame them both. I mean, if the Democrats put up somebody that sucks, and then the Republicans respond by putting up a bad candidate, as you say. I mean, if the Democrats have a candidate that sucks, let's say you believe Kamala Harris sucked, a lot of people do, and the Republicans put forward Trump, and he gets in there and destroys the economy, you're going to say the Republicans don't get any blame at all for electing him? It only goes because of like as if the Republicans were sitting around and only if the Democrats had to put up a good candidate, we would have voted with him. No. So both sides can get it in that. What about Trump accounts for children who would have never known? What do you mean? I've heard about that, Joan, the Trump accounts. I think that's a good thing. I say this all the time. I'll give Trump credit for things that are good. The accounts you can set up, and then when your child reaches the age of 18, there's money. I think that's a good thing. I favor that. I think there's some benefits to Trump RX. There are some good things he does. Everything Trump does is not bad. This is the same argument I used to have with the right when Biden was in office, because the right believed that everything that Biden was doing was bad. Jesse Waters of Fox News asked President Trump about Obama. He said, did Obama do anything good for the country? And Trump said, no. That's derangement syndrome. He killed bin Laden. Can you at least give him credit for that? Because the right always says if Trump cured cancer, the left would not give him any credit for it. He literally told Jesse Waters of Fox News Obama didn't do a thing good for the country at all. And the right gets angry and critical when the left do it on Trump. Like I said, most of the things that Trump complains about, you can find videos of him doing the same thing to other people. Looking in the comments, Tim, tell us a good thing about Trump RX. Makes some drugs more affordable. I'm watching The View of all shows, a left-leaning show, and whatever the name of Alyssa Farrah Griffin, she's the one that represents the conservative on the show, but she hates Trump, and she used to work for Trump. And she even said, and thank you for the hat and mustache, that great Lola. Appreciate that. Thank you for the support. A few of you guys showing the program some love. She brought up that she spent 6 figures trying to have a child, in vitro or whatever the case may be, because she's a contractor as a guest star on The View or a panelist on The View. And she stated Trump's plan has now made it that if she had tried to have a child after Trump RX, she would pay 1/10 of what she paid to have a child. That's a good thing. Trump's administration wants more children being born. So they're trying to pass laws that are favorable to the creation of more children. You're going to need them when you're kicking all the immigrants out. You're going to need Americans to have more kids. I don't think, the whole Charlie Kirk, kids shouldn't get free lunch in schools and shit like that is good for kids. But Trump RX may be a small glimmer of light in all of that. I am interested to know how you stay so unflappable. Madden Hack, I'm going to plead ignorance. I don't know what unflappable means. How do I stay so unflappable? I'm ignorant on that. Alexa, could you please define unflappable?
Unflappable means not easily upset or confused, especially in a crisis.
Okay, I'm learning some shit. Thank you, Alexa. Thank you, Madden Hack. I didn't know. Well, listen. I believe in listening to both sides of a conflict, both sides of an argument. So I've been that way. Alexa, stop. Alexa, stop. I've been, listen, thank you. I learned the word though. We're talking politics. It's a passionate topic. Some people are going to lose their cool. I get it. And I kind of expect it. It's almost like working in civil services. If you're a nurse, doctor, garbage man, ambulance driver, you're going to have patients or customers that are just shitty people to deal with. If you can't handle those type of people, don't be a civil servant. I have that kind of mentality, I think. Anyway, let me go back to Pobo. You got to support the program before you yelling out instructions. You got to support the program. And the program don't run like that where you just control it by sitting back. But I appreciate your input. Like a public relations job. Yeah, if you're dealing with the public, you got to understand everybody's not going to be friendly or favorable. That's kind of how it works. I wouldn't have a show if I went off on everybody that goes off on me. It's just the way it is. We'll go back to the box. Katrina Hammock. Good evening. Welcome. Is that Takesha? Good evening. Welcome to the program. I think Stick is back. Don't know what happened there. For some reason, I try to bring up some callers and they come up and others do not. We'll try it again with Takesha Bowie. If you focus on it, if you focus in on it, you know what's going on. Some truth to that freedom fighter. Takesha, good evening.
Hey, Tim.
Hey. So
can you tell Scrappy for me telling me I'm on welfare and he lives in a mansion doesn't bother me at all? Is he just not meeting me, Tim?
Who are you talking? Who are you referring to?
Scrappy.
I haven't seen any conversation between you two.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me. So if I was on welfare, guess why I'm not outside? Because I got the welfare to pay the rent.
Well, they don't.
That doesn't offend me, sweetie. Welfare was created for white women whose husbands were unalived in the service. And the only reason y'all think it's a bad thing now is because black women were allowed to get it after they found a way to get white women off of it.
Ooh.
So use something else, sweetie. That doesn't offend me, baby. You're going to have to come harder than that, harder than you are when you get in the bed with a woman. Anyway, Tim, listen. Check this out. You know I was coming. Tim.
Go ahead.
You know how I start, but you know how I end up getting a V, Tim. I'm trying to be good, Tim.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. We like trying to be good.
Trying to be good, Tim. The president said, forget y'all and y'all bills.
Why would he do that?
What you got going on?
Why would he do that?
I don't care about what you can and cannot afford. And then here come J.D. Vance talking about it was taken out of context. And then Mike Johnson, I didn't hear it, but the president talks about it every day, how he wants the American people. Shut up, Mike Johnson.
How could you possibly? Everybody's seen the clip of him standing in front of Marine One. How could you take that out of context? What context did he mean?
Tim, my thing is this. For them saying he's the most transparent president, and he said what he wanted to say without an apology, they sure can come up and do the twister when it comes to his words.
Yeah, that statement was as clear as day. There's no taking that out of context. I mean, he I don't think about American finances.
Think about the American people's finances.
Yeah, that's insane to suggest that. I mean, that's some of that Charlie Kirk shit taken out of context, but that was pretty clear. I don't know how you take that out of context.
Tim, it makes absolutely no sense to me. I'm so confused at how the man who got in office by saying he was going to lower prices and help the American people is going to be America first, because say now he ain't standing us. We out here look, he door dashing and we door dashing. The only difference is we out here door dashing to make ends meet, and he out here ordering me. I mean, Tim, it just don't make no sense, Tim. I mean, come on, Tim. Come on.
But is it possible that the guy still has 2+ years left? Maybe he could turn things around.
Tim.
Yes, ma'am.
The only thing he gonna turn around is Melania in bed. That man is not finna turn.
So he is hitting it. He is hitting it then.
I said, Tim, if you up all night, you ain't hitting nothing but them buttons that you keep on making all them posts with. That woman down the hall so far, they done took her whole wing. That woman said, I'm finna go sleep at the Trump Towers. I ain't even got a room in here. So I'm going to sleep at Trump Towers and I'll see you in the morning. Oh. That woman don't even sleep in the White House. Yeah,
I see in the comments, Daddy Dan said he ain't touching Melania. So they ain't got no physical interaction at all, huh?
The only physical interaction they got is when he tried to hold her head and she slapped it. Stop it, Tim. Just stop. Somebody in your comment, Tim, said that we ain't have nothing but for 4 years but Biden being sleepy and an auto pen. And Tim, I'm trying to see, are they not seeing what Trump keep falling asleep?
Well, in defense of Trump, let me go into this. In defense of Trump, I will say that Trump is often able to do literally the same things that Biden was taking criticism for. Trump could fall asleep in the same way Biden did, and there would be some reason justifying why it's happening. Maybe he got a tough schedule.
The White House say he was blinking. I ain't never seen nobody blink that long in my life. His eyelids got stuck together with some of that white stuff that be in your eye when you got allergies. And he had to pry them back. Oh, and that's the only way I could see he was blinking, Tim, for that long. The White House said he was blinking. Yeah.
I don't have an answer for it. I don't.
He was blinking, Tim. I can't take it.
I get if your favorite Trump over any Democrat that could come down the pipe, I get it. But some of the defenses for some of the stuff he's did, like for instance, I don't think about Americans' finances. How do you take that out of context? So some of the things they defend for President Trump, just call a spade a spade. You still like the guy, but don't make up shit.
What I do know is President Xi one standing at the end of that red carpet waiting on Trump. That man was at home. He sent somebody else to meet him when he got off the plane. He didn't even have time to come meet Trump. That let you know he got no respect.
But Trump did arrive at like 2 in the morning, didn't he?
I wouldn't care if he arrived at 4. I keep telling you, stop it, Tim. Just stop.
I don't know if a dignitary arrived here at 2 in the morning, would Trump be out there? I mean, Trump would probably schedule it and just schedule it so you don't arrive at that weird hour.
Tim.
Yes, ma'am.
Tim, I want you to stop because you sound just like the people that make the excuses.
No, I'm being serious. Why would you lay in at 2 in the morning?
That man don't like Donald Trump. Stop it, Tim. You done talked about this man, then lied on this man. Now you want to go over there and make friends with this man. Donald Trump, stop. For real.
No, I don't believe that him and Xi Jinping are friends. I mean, I think he has a better relationship with Vladimir Putin, Xi Jinping. But right now, Iran is getting out of hand. And the best way to tackle Iran right now would be to get China to stop purchasing fuel from them to hurt their economy. So that's why he's dealing with China.
You know who could open up the straits?
Iran.
China.
Mm-hmm.
You know why they can open up the straits? Because they get a lot of their oil from them. And to be honest, Tim, from some intelligence that I've heard, China ain't gonna open them. They say that's the only person who can get Iran to open those straits, and they don't want to.
I think Russia could probably get it too. I think Russia could probably get it done.
Listen, China is over there building up. Their technology is better now than everything. Them folks ain't studying us.
Well, I push back in a couple of ways. First of all, China wants Taiwan. And under the Biden administration, we made the commitment, because Biden went over to Taiwan and on the world stage said that if China messes with Taiwan, America is going to step up to defend Taiwan. So China would love to get Trump to commit to basically leaving Taiwan to its own devices. So that might be something that if Trump was willing to, for the most part, throw Taiwan under the bus, China may play ball with Iran.
Tim, the first day that Trump got in office, China knew they could take Taiwan, and Trump wasn't finna do nothing about it. Just stop it, Tim, okay?
Bro, you want to make it official, though, so you don't have a proxy war.
Tim, they probably had that conversation the first time, and then stop it, Tim. They really stop. Trump been sold out a lot of folks. Just stop. Tim, he don't care nothing about us. He already told us that. He told us that.
So what is his goal? If he don't care nothing about our allies, you say he don't even care about the citizens. What is his goal as commander-in-chief?
I told you when he first got in. No, I told you before he got in. I said, Tim, if Trump gets in, he's not going to do anything for the American people. I told you that. I said we are his retribution for not electing him in 2020. He is paying us back for embarrassing him by electing Joe Biden, the person that he talked about running from his basement. And we see it every day, Tim. He is doing nothing to benefit us. Everything is to benefit him and his friends. Now we got to put all this extra money in this reflecting pool that the algae gonna eat up the color. And he done took the beast and ran over some of it. You done gave a contract to your painter, and now you trying to act like you don't know the person you gave the contract to. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, Trump. Tell me you didn't know the company personally. First, 1 week you said it was somebody you had used. And the next week now you saying you don't know the folks personally. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You can't even keep up with your lies.
Well, you got a detractor in my comments. History Raven says, now this woman is a political expert. I love this podcast, but he's wasting time with people that literally say something friendly. I can't listen to stupidity. I'm out. So you got a detractor that's referring.
Well, she must have been listening to herself when she said she couldn't listen to stupidity. She probably said that when she was listening to herself writing that statement. That's what it was. That's why she said she couldn't listen to stupidity. Because when she read it back to herself, she said, dang, this was stupid. So I can't listen to this. So I'm going on. Before I post it, I'm going to go on and walk away. That's what it was, Tim.
Okay, I'll leave it at that. But so what is this? I mean, so just to get clarity on that question, if you're saying he doesn't care about the American people and he doesn't care about our allies, what is the purpose? It's just for retribution. That's what he's in office for.
The man has made $4 billion since he's been in office. Till cut it out. You know what it's about. And let me say this: bravo to Mondani, who has zeroed out the debt of New York City.
Yeah.
I said, did you hear what I said?
Yeah, I heard what you said. He balanced the
He ain't
budget.
been in there that long. This man has made these folks zero debt. Tim, that's something incredible.
Yeah, that's
But
huge.
you know we do that on the left. That's what we do on the left. We balance budgets, Tim. We bring the comment back on the left, and then the right get it and mess it up like they always.
And I see Watt in the comments says, and he didn't cut any programs to do it either. That I mean,
He
that's
didn't cut one program to do it, Tim. You know what he did? He taxed the rich. He made 2 apartment complexes. The owners of those apartment complexes pay money for duping them folks and not doing what they're supposed to do in apartments. He went in their accounts and got the money, Tim. And now he's finna do the repairs that's needed for those apartments. I like the way he running it, Tim. He working for the people and not for himself. I love it, Tim.
That's what's going to end up.
Because of what they talked about him, Tim, saying he was gonna turn it into what it was. They said he was gonna turn it into, Tim.
Venezuela, whatever socialist country that's failing.
Whatever thing they said, that man over there working hard for the people, and it shows. And I love it. Prove him wrong, Mondani.
Well, the Lemon song in the comments says now they're leaving, and he has smiley faces. But if they were ripping off their tenants, maybe it's okay that they leave. I mean, why would you want them to stay?
Tim, he's lying. I watched the whole thing. Them people said they couldn't go nowhere. They've been there all their life. All they wanted was somebody to finally come in and fix their place up. Ain't nobody said they were moving nowhere. See how folks be lying?
Well, the claim is that if you bring socialism and high taxism to a state or a city, the people that make money are going to leave that city. New York is a hell of a place to leave, though. If you're rich, this is where you can make a ton of money. A bunch of rich people leave in New York.
Tim, hold on 1 second, Tim. I bet she buys Father Day cards in both Father Day. And a parsley is on there. It's Father's Day cards in both. And I only have one, so I don't have to buy them in both.
Say you have a lot of baby daddies?
I don't know where they get that from, Tim. They play too much. First it was the welfare. Now I got multiple baby dads. You know, y'all funny. And y'all wonder why we say racism still exists. But you know who don't understand racism, Tim? People that have never had to face it. But they are racist. They just can't see it in themselves. Because that was the most racist comment, right? I bet she buys Father Day cards in both.
Yeah, if you start going straight to the stereotypes, she must be on welfare. She must have a bunch of baby daddies. And the only thing you know about her is she's a black woman. Yeah, it's hard not to argue with you. I mean, it's hard not to agree with you, rather. It's hard not to agree with that.
Then they tell me some racism don't exist. It exists in the comments. Stop it.
Don't get into fights with my beloved MAGA.
I'm just saying, good gracious of life, Tim. But my thing is, they keep messing with the wrong person. You're not offending me, sweetie. That don't move, Kiki.
Well,
Tim, did you see my pictures?
No, I didn't.
Hold on, Tim. I gotta show them. I'm gonna show them why it don't move me. Just give me 1 second.
And Max in the comments says she started out guest as racist. So you started out as a racist guest, is what he's saying.
Hold on, Tim.
While you're doing that, I'll look at the comments. You love racist, Tim, says No Live. I don't know what the hell a racist is, depending on who you ask. Because the definition of what's racist from the right compared to what's racist on the left.
You care about what they say about me?
Okay, hang on a second. Oh.
You think I care?
Not at all,
Look
baby.
at me, Tim.
Not at all. Very
You
nice.
think that word, Kiki? Okay, take me out the box.
All right. Speaking of boxes, okay now. All right, what am I doing here? Hang on a second. There we go. All right, nice. Good pictures. I like it. More curves than a German road.
Yeah,
So
now y'all gonna put yourselves up. I know you pulled out when I put the pictures up. So don't come for me with your racism because Miss Kiki don't care. Look at me. Do I look like I'm bothered by anything anybody say?
no,
Find somebody else to play with.
You're doing good. You're doing good over there. I'll leave it at that. I'll keep that in mind. I'll keep that in memory. Appreciate it, Takesha. Good talk. Moving on with the program, if you will, tap the screen, get us on up to 90,000. We'll take the next caller at 90,000. This is uncensored programming. We don't block, ban, or censor any damn body on this program. We take MAGA callers as well, so we certainly would love to talk to some of our folks on the right. We don't limit your time or try to dictate how you can speak. There's no censorship here. We're MAGA friendly. So our comments go left to Bernie Sanders, so I'm having dinner with Q. By the way, I didn't state this. And by the way, help your boy with the TikTok cap, hat, mustache goes, if you will. But if you're watching us currently live on Instagram, Substack, TikTok, or Clapper, follow the program. We're here most weekdays. If you're watching us live on YouTube, give your guy a sub. C. Osby, yeah! Appreciate the hat and mustache. Thank you very much. In the comments, after this administration, think they will what? Re-pedophile? What does that say? Re-pedophiles are running this country into the ground. What is a re? I'm assuming you just mean pedos are running this country into the ground, says Matthew. Well, I get that folks believe that our current administration is run by a pedo, but it hasn't been proven. So he is entitled to being innocent until proven guilty. And the problem is, while he is the president and has all the power, he's going to prevent any case from coming forward. I'm not going to call Trump a pedo, but I am going to say at the very least he's protecting pedos. I mean, we know there are pedos on the list, and we know Trump has done a lot to make sure the list in its entirety does not get released. So you take your pick. Either he is one or he's protecting some. I mean, he's treated the victims like shit. He hasn't shown any type of sympathy for the women that went through it. He's treated them like shit. So either he is one or he's protecting them. I don't think that's, even if you really, really support Trump and you don't believe he would ever abuse a child, you would have to believe, at least agree that he's protecting people that have. To say it's a Democratic hoax, I don't think anybody on the right, even hardcore MAGA, don't believe that the Epstein files are a Democratic hoax. So even if you don't believe he's harmed anybody, you'd have to agree he's protecting folks that have. Why would you do that? Well, and if your only response is to deflect to, well, Biden didn't release the list, that's not a defense for Trump. If you have no defense for Trump other than to bring up what somebody else didn't do, so then you're not defending Trump. What would make him say that's a Democrat hoax? So yeah, I mean, he's either one himself or he's protecting them. And like I said, the way his administration has treated the victims is terrible. I don't know. Even Trump calls MAGA stupid people, and that's on Google. Trump says a lot of things I don't understand why he says. You should change the something to going left of Bernie Sanders to right of burying Cross with some. I don't get what you're saying by that. Trump made $65 million from those ghost phones. I heard it was $59 million, but Trump is a billionaire. Get them people their fucking money back. Why let that story remain out there? These are your support. Why do that to people that voted for you? Liberals ain't buying Trump phones. Maybe a couple collectors, folks who, because I believe a lot of Trump shit might be valuable artifacts in the future, but that's MAGA. Overwhelmingly MAGA that's buying those phones. Get them people their damn money back. Trump is in a position where now where $59 million ain't shit to him. Have your boy Elon get him money back. Whatever. Give them their money back. Why would you let that story be out there and fester like that? Probably, in my opinion, because MAGA ain't gonna say nothing about it. I mean, the people I've talked to about this Trump phone scam that are on the right, they don't even believe it's a valid story because the right ain't even covering it. Trump don't rip his own people off of $59 million, or somebody said $65 million. And it's not even being covered by the right. The story is not even getting any coverage. The left is covering it, but the right does not believe media coming from the left is accurate. They think it's all fake news. So he's ripped off MAGA, and if MAGA complains about it, they're going to get listened to by liberal networks, and their MAGA brothers and sisters are going to say what you're complaining about is fake news. You're AI. I saw you on TV the other night talking about you bought a Trump phone and you didn't get the phone and it was a ripoff. That was AI, right? That wasn't you, was it? They're not even believing it. So I don't know. It looks terrible to me. He laughs at MAGA and back in them with no baby oil, and they love it. Yeah. I just say it's a terrible story. Trump got tons of money. Give these people their damn money back. They were only trying to show support and love to you. Give them their money back. That's the only reason they bought the phones, so they like you. It ain't a special phone. It doesn't make special phone calls or do anything different than any other phone. They done it out of love and adoration for you. Give them their shit back. I mean, that's crazy to do that. Looking in the comments, and what you should have is somebody on the right brave enough to say what I just said. These people bought these phones because they support us. They support you and they support our party. That's the only reason they bought it. Otherwise, they would have a Samsung or a Google phone or an iPhone or something. They done it out of love for us. Give them their money back. This is a drop in the bucket to you at this point. Give them their damn money back. Why would you do that? Like, you can't rip everybody off. Anyway, look at it in the comments. No refund. Who does that with clear conscience? Nobody that I could say. Nate Moreno says it was a concept of a phone. Terrible to do that. I don't get it. MAGA reacts. William says they're idiots. MAGA, have you heard about this phone story, MAGA?
No, but I want to reply to some. Remember our last talk? You're like, why do you still support Trump? I think I found someone better to support. Can I play a little video real quick?
Oh, I'm scared. Go ahead.
All right, put me on the big screen. Or watch this.
How many people were on the house that you think have no teeth at all? They don't have teeth. Why? Because meth rots your teeth. You can't succeed without teeth. So there needs to be comprehensive health care provided to people.
Yeah, there you go. I'm voting for her now. I'm supporting her instead of Trump.
Okay, I'm assuming that's a joke of some sort, but I mean, she wants people to have teeth. Is that wrong?
Her priority is spending money to get people who smoke meth new teeth, $40,000 teeth, instead of fixing LA and stopping the crime in LA and dealing with the homelessness problems. That's the priority of the left. Like, how do you expect me to even switch to the left when that's all they think about?
But I don't get it. Is that
money on? That shit's a scam. We don't even know if.
Yeah, but here's what I don't get. You can see crazy shit like that, and that is crazy. You can see crazy shit like that from the left.
Mayor of LA, Tim.
What?
That is the current mayor of LA. You know that, right?
Okay, fair enough. No, I did not know that. But you can see crazy shit. Hold on, hang on. I get it. You want to beat. I get it. You want to beat the woman down. I get it. But here's what I'm saying. You can see crazy shit. But let me make the point. Let me make the point. You can see crazy shit like that from the left. But in the middle of this economy, President Trump wants a tribunal. He wants to refurbish a jet. He's building ballrooms. What's the difference between that and giving meth addicts teeth? Both of them are crazy.
I don't know. The jet is at least a jet. That money might as well flush it down the toilet because they're going to keep smoking meth and fucking up their new teeth. They're not going to get a new start and start it all over and fix their lives.
I'm not hearing the difference.
We could sell and get our money back.
I'm not hearing. Why do we need a tribunal arch in D.C. in the middle of this economy? Why do we need that?
Because that leads to tourism. It's a tourist trap, and it makes money.
It costs $100 million.
Yeah, we're doing the same shit in Miami, and ours probably costs more because it involves bridge and it's over water and shit. It makes money in the long term because people are going to show up to your city and have shit to do. People love taking pictures in front of things. That's why we have Instagram.
And the ballroom, the ballroom is about tourism too, huh? $1 billion for the ballroom. That's about tourism too.
Yeah, I mean, we have to negotiate. We have to have, meetings and parties. I mean, half of the
parties.
Foreign diplomats.
In the middle of this
Diplomacy
economy,
works.
people are paying almost $5 a gallon for gas, and you're talking about we got to be able to have parties. You realize how insensitive that sounds?
This is the other thing. You guys don't even know how fucking money works. Paying for these things is not going to take away from fucking, from gas. I mean, it's not going to lower or increase gas prices.
You want to talk about
other things.
You want to talk about Los Angeles? You want to talk about Los Angeles? Let me tell you something. She's a badass. Shut up. She's a badass mayor. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
and let me tell you something about the homeless. We do take care of our homeless. And unfortunately, a lot of them come here to LA because they like the weather. Okay? And the epidemic, the meth is a white tea. Okay? So they're giving you white tea people new mouths.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't want them white, black, I don't care what color they are. I don't want money spent on their fucking teeth.
Have insurance after they get cleaned and stuff. Huh?
Insurance you have to pay.
I want to gag on some white cock. You know what I mean? Get over yourself. Get over yourself. And guess what? He just told you.
People who smoke
Let me tell you
meth.
something. He
Okay?
just told you
These
today.
people-
He don't care about you. He don't give a damn about you. He just said it to your faces. To your faces. He don't care about you.
Hold on, hang on, Gangsta Grandma, hang on, Gangsta Grandma. Hold on, I want you to respond to what she said. The fact that Trump did say, I don't think about Americans' finances.
Thank you.
What is your response to
I
that?
haven't seen that video yet, and I don't know the context behind it. So I don't know. I just got home from work.
The reporter asked him, why are you not caring
Okay,
about the people?
let me play the video. Let me play the video, and you tell me what do you think, MAGA?
Are you negotiating with Iran, Mr. President? What are American financial institutions motivating you to make a deal?
Not even a little bit. The only thing that matters when I'm talking about Iran, they can't have a nuclear weapon. I don't think about America's financial situation. I don't think about anybody. I think about one thing. We cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon. That's all. That's the only thing that
You said earlier that the only thing that matters to you when it comes to Iran is a nuclear weapon. You're not considering the financial impact of this war on Americans.
The most important thing by far, including whether our stock market, which by the way is at an all-time high, but including whether or not our stock market goes up or down a little bit, the most important thing by far is Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon.
What about
So why would he say that? What is your opinion, MAGA?
I mean, I understand what he's doing, but if I even try to explain it to you guys,
I want you to try to explain it.
I'm trying to explain it to you guys.
If you cook protein,
You're too
they
dumb.
will
You're too
bring
dumb,
the
especially
actual
her.
pretzels behind this
Hey,
man.
go get your
This
free
man
teeth.
told him
Go
to
to
his face.
Kevin Bass and get your free teeth from her. I mean,
The man
the man.
just told it to your face. He don't
He
give a
thinks
damn.
you thinks Iran having a nuke is more important. Okay, that's fucking.
Okay,
that's what
is
I'm
it-
saying. You don't want your enemies to have nuclear weapons.
But let me ask you, hold on.
And they never will. And that's his point.
Hold on, Gangsta Grandma, hold on. So MAGA, do you believe that preventing Iran from getting a nuclear weapon is so important that you should just let the economy take the backseat and not even focus on it, as he said?
No, but if he starts saying, "Oh, I'm cracking because fucking," if he says I'm cracking because yes, if he says yes to that question, then Iran's like, "Oh shit, what we're doing is working.
My
Let's
dad
keep it
is
up."
shitting on us.
What?
You know we're losing? He's in. You know what? Trump right now
I
is
know
in
you're on
China.
Iran's side, but I'm on
Trump
America's
right
side.
now is in
So
China. China
if
just
you would have
shit
said
on us.
yes,
Oh my
if you
God.
would have even said yes, then that would have been all over the news, and then Iran would get hope, like, "Oh, what we're
Oh my
doing is
God,
working,
you know
so let's
what,
keep
dog?
going."
You're
Because
stupid as fucking
America's,
hell.
I
I swear
I give
to
him a C.
God. Do you
I know the
see
economy's
the
shit.
ignorance of Mega? They were bent over backwards, still stuck on him after they just shit
Hey,
on
vote for
him.
what? Who do you want me to vote for? Karen Bath? I know you got some free teeth out of it, but I don't need teeth. I don't smoke meth like
Let
you
me
do.
tell you something about us.
Oh my God.
We take care of your ass. We do. Because you're in Florida. Let me tell you something. We take care of Florida.
How about you
We
take
do.
care of yourselves? Stop some fires from burning down half the
What are you
fucking
talking about?
half the
California
city.
is the fourth largest economy in the world. We Guess what? If you guys have a hurricane, you just keep finding your asses.
3 minutes.
So you're fucked on
That's
that
fine.
too.
Listen, every time we have a hurricane, we fix everything and we're back to normal in 2 weeks. It's been almost a year and a half, and your city's still on fire.
Yes, master. You're never going to be at a damn table. You're never going to be.
I'm not in prison. I don't need to be with the white people and the racist fucking.
Why do you say prison?
You just said something racist as hell. You're the stupidest ass fucking white tea person I ever did see. And don't you ever
You're
tell
the
me
only white
he's
people
not
here,
racist.
first of all. All I said
You
is
just
I'm not
said
in
it.
prison,
Oh,
so I don't
I'm
need
going to
to.
prison. Yeah, that's
It's only in
I
prison
know
where
what
you have to sit at
I-
tables where the racists.
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
You don't even know what the hell you're talking about. When I said you're never going to be
Yeah, because I've never
you
been to
said
prison.
That's all you said is prison. So you think black people are going to prison? Let me tell you something. You
No, I think the talk you're saying where I can't eat at someone's table, the only
You
place
don't
we
even
can't eat
know
at other
what the
racist
fuck you're talking
tables is prison. That's where you
No,
can't
it's
eat at other
not.
people's table.
That is what right there you just
What
said.
happens if you eat at the wrong table in
Right
prison?
there, you
If
just
you're
said
a certain race and
And you
you
know
eat
what,
at
Tim? You need to call his bitch ass out. Because what he just said was racist.
Well, we got a conversation.
What did I say? That you're white?
Oh my fucking God, I'm not white. You know, you're the most dumbest individual. Just because I'm light skinned don't mean I'm white. So you need to go back to history.
You're
There's
white
black
'cause you're
people
white.
that are light skinned, blonde hair, and blue eyes. You know where they're at? They're in Africa. They're in New Orleans. They're in Seaford. Good God.
All right, so you're white.
Education. You really do need to get education.
All right.
Real.
All right.
God.
All right.
You're bad to get those.
All right. The 10 minutes of gangster grandma. He's not going to listen, but I appreciate you coming on. All right.
Because you know what? Because you don't call his
Listen
ass
to
out.
what? She's not
What he
saying
just
anything.
did, that was racist, call his ass out. Because if you don't, I promise
What's
you.
right? Hold on. What's racist about it?
All right.
What's racist
All right,
about it?
well,
You're talking
Okay, look. She don't like the fact that but when she's making comments, you're going all the way to blacks in prison. I mean, prison was not part of the conversation,
I
right?
didn't say blacks. I was talking about white people in prison.
Why is
You're white.
why is
Or
prison
people
coming up at all?
trying to eat because that's prison talk. That shit where you can't eat at other people's table. That's fucking prison talk. When you're
You can do that shit in elementary school lunchroom.
where racists eat, and if you're a different race and you want to eat with that race, they'll fucking kill you for trying to eat at their table. And that's all she says. Oh, they're not gonna eat like you eat at their table. That's what
Okay.
happens in prison. Racist people in prison won't let you eat at their table.
Okay, that's
It doesn't matter
cool.
the race. It could be white.
You're the first person I've ever heard make that
If you're not
make.
white,
You're the first person I've ever heard make that
it's all
comparison.
Over TV, it's all over YouTube. Anyone that talks about prison, anyone that talks about prison and their time in prison, that's all they talk about. How
I'll repeat. You're the first person I've ever heard take what she said and take it to a prison conversation. I've never heard that before.
But
It- I get it. I get what you're saying. I just never heard nobody make the leap. Well, here's what I want to say though.
like those white
I get it. You're talking about prison still. Well, let's get off of prison. Let's get off of prison because I've never heard nobody else say that. But you do believe that there is nothing wrong with Trump saying, "I don't think about America's finances."
No, I mean it's fucked up to say, but I think I see the purpose behind it. If he says that yes, I'm worried, then guess what? That's gonna give an edge to Iran because Iran's like, oh yeah, he's worried about their finances.
They know that shit already, MAGA. This guy says things. Hold on. Wait, hold on. You're gonna tell me because he didn't say that they believe that he actually means what he's actually saying, which is he's not thinking about. This is the same guy that said that Iran is begging for a ceasefire. They know he don't say the truth all the damn time. They're not trusting what he says on TV as fact.
You know how many? First of all, it'll be all over the news. It's gonna fuck shit up. Now the opposite's all over the news. Oh, this motherfucker doesn't care. He's gonna kill us.
They don't believe that. They don't believe that, man.
It's better to pretend not to care, especially if you're in a negotiation like that. That's like
MAGA.
fucking negotiation.
You really think Iran? You really think Iran believes that Trump doesn't care about the financial situation of Americans?
Well, then why are you acting like he doesn't?
Because it's a terrible statement to make. Whether he cares or not, it's a terrible thing to say.
He had to do it because if he said otherwise, that gives Iran a leg up, and it's gonna give. Even if it's fucking not true, this helps the negotiation. Or actually, I don't know if this helps the negotiation, but if you did the opposite, it would have hurt the negotiation.
All this does is make
worse position with Iran.
I mean, regardless of how he answered the question, MAGA, Iran knows the people in this country are struggling. They know the politicians in this country are, they know that we gerrymandered our elections. They know why that's done because Trump wasn't going to win on his own. They know that shit. So I don't know what this statement makes a difference.
They still, again, you never know. But again, it's like when your wife's like, oh, I'm not going to sleep with you because you did this and that. You got to pretend not to care because if you pretend to care, then she's going to keep using that shit against you. It's just simple negotiation. Like, you got to pretend that you don't care sometimes so they don't, because otherwise you're just handing them the fucking upper hand.
Well, let me just say this. In regards to whether Trump really cares about America's finances or not, if you look at what he's actually doing as president, does he appear to care about America's finances?
Yeah, I think he definitely cares.
Elaborate on it. What is he doing to make you think he cares about it? Huh?
Everything he does has to do with finance and trying to get this country more money and making this country stronger trade-wise and getting the upper hand on the people we trade with and just getting what we deserve. I mean, all he does is care about our financial situation.
Well, first of all, let me make something clear.
First thing he talks about when it comes to anything.
No, first of all, let's make something clear. Bringing America more money does not guarantee it's going to translate to the citizens of this country. So when you say everything he's doing is bringing America more money, that don't mean they're going to share it with you. You can work for a business and the CEO can do things to bring the company more money. That don't mean it's going to translate to you. So I don't know why you're saying bringing the country more money is going to make everybody benefit. He imposed tariffs on the whole damn world. Who's benefited?
Well, that money comes to America. So America.
In what way? In what way we benefited?
America is going to get to the people working for it.
In what way?
One way or another.
He imposed the tariffs. Liberation Day was over a year ago, April 1st, 2025. How have Americans benefited from his tariffs? Give me some examples.
I mean, I can't give you a direct example.
I'm sure you can. I'm sure you can.
Look, the way I see it, as long as the money is in America, that's what matters. Because when the money gets spent outside America, it stays outside of America. But what gets spent in America is going to eventually trickle down to everybody's pocket. And that's what I look for. Like,
and I go back to my same statement I just made with you a moment ago. If you work for a company and the CEO does things to bring the company more money, that does not mean any of that's going to trickle down to you. You're making it sound like because Trump is doing things to bring more money to America, somehow Americans are going to benefit from it. There's no evidence to suggest that.
Look, I also like the idea of getting taxed on consumption instead of income. I hate the idea of an income tax. You get taxed on your money before you just for earning it. And you should only be taxed on money you spend. So tariff kind of pushes it. If the tariff work, and I hope they do work, it will push us more toward, toward getting, keeping this way. Like when you go to work, you get all your money. And if you don't spend it, you won't get taxed.
You might as well be.
I want that.
To me, you might as well be hanging out with the late Jesse Jackson. It sounds more like, as opposed to giving concrete examples of things that Trump has done to help benefit America, you just have hope. You just hope is to. The tariffs are over a year old. You can't come up with anything that actually has benefited Americans. You just have hope it will in the future.
For the next call.
What?
I mean, for one thing, they give anyone that sells a product made in America a leg up over anyone that imports their product. So which equals more jobs in America, because if everyone importing shit has to pay an extra 10%, that gives you an extra 10% being spent on American workers.
I don't even know what you. I don't. That's good. That's gobbledygook. I don't even know what that means, because if you're selling.
Well, whatever I say is going to be complicated. I'm going to have to draw.
It is incredibly complicated because there's no results. Everything you're saying is based on something in the future where it may benefit. Right now, I'm asking you, what has Trump done? He's been in office almost half of his term. He was promising to lower things on day one and all this quick shit. What has he done to benefit Americans now? Not some shit in the future. How has Americans benefited economically from his presidency now?
Well, right now, it was mostly the gas. And right now, with this war in Iran, he's fucked even that up. So we'll see.
So the answer is nothing.
I mean, less crime is also very beneficial financially to Americans. And we've had less crime than we've had in like 2 decades.
You trying to translate crime into money for the average American? What am I getting robbed less?
Yeah. Exactly.
I didn't get my catalytic converter stolen. Oh my God.
Exactly.
That's
a good example. Your friend is not going to get his car shot again, hopefully.
That's the best you get. That's the best. You do realize you do realize that the stuff you're talking about does not happen to most Americans at all. I've never had my catalytic converter stolen in my whole life.
Well, I have actually. And as a businessman, I'd rather invest money in a safe neighborhood than one that gets shot up all the time. Even though there's so many people that the rate is low, I'd rather spend money where some,
You do understand that 99.
Money and people spending their money.
Open up an atlas and look at all of the different cities and towns throughout America. You do realize 99.99% of American cities do not get shot up. What you're talking about doesn't really apply to most Americans at all. That's not happening to most Americans.
That's also a big problem. Like, the current rhetoric is hurting the economy more than anything. I mean, the reason he did so well his first term is just the rhetoric helped it. But right now, the rhetoric is actually hurting him because the media now knows how to fucking flip his rhetoric.
I don't think it's
sometimes consumer confidence is very important, and we have very low confidence right now.
I don't think it's the rhetoric. I think it's his policies. I mean, the tariffs hurt us. The war is hurting us. It's stuff that he's actually doing that's hurting us. If he didn't start the war with Iran, just take that one thing away. If he didn't do that, gas prices would still be low, and all of the trickle-down effects of high gas prices would not be happening. That one thing, that ain't got nothing to do with rhetoric. That's something he did to cause us pain. He done that, and it wasn't necessary.
I agree with you. That was his big mistake. We were actually about to have a good economy, and then he fucked it up with Iran. It was a huge gamble, and like I said several times on your show, if it would have worked out, and even now, if it still works out, it'll turn things around really quick. But if it doesn't work out, then yeah, he's fucked.
Not.
Again, who am I going to vote for? Miss Karen Bath? I don't have, I have my teeth. I don't need her fucking homeless dental plan.
You know something?
Give me someone better. Please give me someone better.
As bad as her.
I don't care Democrat. I don't care.
To be honest with you, I don't know much about the mayor of Los Angeles, but to be honest with you, I would rather vote for somebody talking like that at this point, as opposed to somebody that's getting us in wars and breaking up all our alliances. Give the meth guy a few dentures. Damn, I'd rather the shit that Trump is spending money on that we don't need would give all them dentures. So fuck it, get them meth addicts dentures.
This lady was supposed to be like, other than Harris, she's one of the people on the short list to become VP for Biden. So she was like an inch away from taking Harris's place. And I mean, look at the state of LA. It's it's shit. Literally, there's feces everywhere. Like, I don't know.
The man gave Argentina $40 billion. That would have got everybody dentures. I mean, you just don't like what she's doing, but Trump is wasting money on things that ain't helping Americans constantly. It just ain't meth addicts, but he's doing it constantly.
I guess so, but it's, again, he's not limited on money. Karen Bass is limited with her money.
You know how bad that sounds? So this motherfucker is wasting our tax money, but because he got a lot of it, can you imagine your son telling you, well, dad makes a lot of money, so dad ain't limited, so he's just wasting your shit because you make a lot. That sounds terrible.
Look, it would also be awful if we had a bunch of Argentine refugees coming in.
That's our money, you're saying. He's not limited. He's not limited. That's our money.
We might get the money back. Listen.
I gotta move it on. You got a lot of.
If I knew more about it, I would have a better defense.
Yeah, this one. Get a better defense. This one sucks.
Right? Money's not a resource. If money was a resource like food, I would understand. But money is just a tool Money's a tool for you to get things done and to get people trading with. Like, it's a tool you're supposed to use to trade. It's not like a resource like food, where if I give food to Argentina, I won't have any food for fucking LA. You know what I mean?
Well, I'll agree with you.
There's enough food. I mean, money's just paper. There's enough paper to go around.
Oh my God. It ain't enough paper to go around when a kid needs free lunch in school. Suddenly he ain't doing that. What happened to, well, we got plenty of money. When it comes to helping out poor people, he don't talk that shit. But when he needs to have a military parade or something, well, we got plenty of money all of a sudden.
The problem isn't the money. You have to have the dentists and the people working for it. You have to have the actual infrastructure to actually do the work.
I gotta go.
And it's not that. There's other priorities. They should be giving regular people teeth, not just fucking homeless meth addicts. Give your regular citizens teeth first. How about that?
How about you give your regular citizens a fucking jet from Qatar? How about that? Can we at least get a free trip on it, a free ticket? How about that?
I mean, it's got to be in a museum where all get to see it.
Oh, a fucking museum. We got to pay to go in the museum and see it there too. How about you do something for the people?
Free, but I think there's a lot of jets that you can see for free in that.
You ain't gonna see the jet in the Smithsonian, wherever he put it, if he even do that. You ain't gonna see it for free. Wherever you see that jet, that you're gonna pay money to see it. So how about you do something for the American people?
Votes more than anything, and it's a stupid idea.
What?
That jet costs us votes and rhetoric more than anything. I think it was a stupid idea.
I'm not hearing anything for that. I gotta move it on, but I'm not hearing anything for the American people. I'm just not. Appreciate it. Moving on with the programming. Get a better defense than that, MAGA Reacts. You're standing in the paint with crutches. You can't guard like that. That's not good defense. You're standing in the paint with crutches. Looking in the comments, MAGA Reacts ain't shit. Says Dencal. Maybe he was trying though. He was giving it an effort. Dencal says, why aren't jobs up since tariffs if we got a leg up? The tariffs are bust. The tariffs, and that's why you don't hear Trump really bragging about how great the tariffs are. The tariffs were a bust. Look, if you really want it, I gotta say all the time on the show, and by the way, tap the screen, get the likes on up. Smash that like button if you're watching on YouTube. I do believe Trump could have been far more successful if he just learned how to have tact. Negotiate. The art of the deal, for instance. You know, you're a negotiator. Fucking negotiate. Do things behind the scenes. If you believe countries are ripping America off and they should be tariffed to make things more fair, Rubio, Vance, how do motherfuckers pick up the phone, make phone calls, and make deals with those countries? You don't go on a world stage and say all kinds of awful shit about them while holding up a plaque talking about his Liberation Day. It's just the way he does things. I actually believe his tariffs could have been met with more success. It's just when you say awful shit to people, you provoke them to be resistant to you, whereas they may have agreed with you. They may have worked with you. They may have dealt with you. How the hell could this guy be some kind of great deal maker? Who the fuck makes deals with people that talk to them like that? The whole art of the deal thing is bullshit. To me, he acts anti-deal. I don't care if it's Greenland. We had a great relationship with Greenland. Make a phone call, talk about the safety of this country, the safety of NATO. They would have probably gave him access to some of those precious rare earth minerals that they have in Greenland. Why the hell are you on television talking about you're going to take the whole fucking country over whether they like it or not? Why do that? That's not a deal. This is an ally. They got military bases with U.S. soldiers all over the fucking country. They clearly are cool with us being there. Why do you talk to them like that? This is the problem. I don't see the art of the deal in this guy at all. I believe he could have accomplished significantly more had he got off the internet, got on the phone and made a private phone call and used the approach of getting more flies with honey than vinegar. This guy just literally produces vinegar for a living. It makes no sense. So what he is really dealing with is anybody that does not allow him to bully them, he ain't gonna have a deal with them. The people he is getting to bow down to him are people he's allowed to bully. The people who stand up, it's resistance. When he could have probably made a phone call and got all of them to work with him. It's crazy. I don't get it. I don't see what the whole art of the deal is in this guy. Art of the bully says free. I mean, that's what he's doing. He's bullying his way to glory, or attempting to do so. Tim, do you have Substack? Yes. We're currently live on Substack, The Handsome Liberal, across all platforms. We're currently live as we speak, Instagram, TikTok, Substack, YouTube, and Clapper. So if you have any of those apps, we're currently live on all of those. And feel free to follow us if you're watching on any of those, and give us a sub if you're watching on YouTube. When did men get so sensitive? Depends on the guy, complicated life. Some guys are sensitive, others are not. I mean, you know, we hear about the liberal snowflakes all the time under Trump, but Trump is a very sensitive guy. I mean, going at the Kimmel and the View and all of this shit, like it's a fucking talk show. It's a late night show on ABC. Jimmy Kimmel saying some shit about you for an hour, not even a whole hour. Maybe during a monologue and maybe one segment he'll say some shit about you. Your supporters, a hell of a lot of them ain't even up that late. The baby boomers that support Trump and watch Fox, they're not watching Jimmy Kimmel. They're not even up to hear this shit. And the younger Republicans and MAGA, they're not watching this anyway. Who gives a fuck what Jimmy Kimmel says? So yeah, he is really, really sensitive. You didn't hear Trump or any Obama or Biden going at the Greg Gutfeld. Greg Gutfeld says all kinds of horrible shit about the liberals. You didn't hear them talking about, I mean, everything from let's go Brandon to fuck Joe Biden. You didn't hear Biden talking about taking him off the air and suing him and shit like this. So yeah, Trump is incredibly sensitive. My last feeling wore out years ago. No fucks left to give. Are you pretending to be stupid? Is this what is the rest of that? We're not pretending. Maybe we're genuinely stupid, but let us know what we're being stupid on. Perhaps you may know the answer and you can correct us. When I first joined this channel, you used to read comments. I like to call in. Well, if you want to be a caller, come on over to Clapper, Instagram, or TikTok. We take callers up over there. It doesn't cost you a penny. Like I said, the same name across all platforms, The Handsome Liberal. Looking in the comments, we'll go straight to, speaking of which on those apps, we'll go to Dencow. I don't know who to root for, MAGA or Gangsta Grandma. I am so confused. You do know between those two, I'm sure. Dencow, good evening or welcome to the show.
Good evening.
Hey, I don't think about America's finances. Coming from the President of the United States, what say you?
Horrible. Just complete horrible. The man can't multitask. He just got to fixate on one thing. As the president, you're supposed to balance your foreign policy with your economic policy because they all affect each other. You can't just say, I'm just concentrating on this one thing, and I don't give a shit if my whole country, goes up in economic shambles as long as I stop them from getting something that I said I stopped them from getting 6 months ago.
Yeah. But do you think he means it? That he really isn't focused on America's finances? You think he's telling the truth?
I don't think he cares about American finance. He doesn't understand American finances. He was born with a silver spoon in his mouth. He's never been to a grocery store in his life. He doesn't know how much gas costs except for people tell him.
Yeah.
He got up there earlier when he came in talking about, they got this thing called groceries. He doesn't even realize what we mean when the common person says groceries. Then he said they made up a term called affordability.
Yeah, he did. It's got to be nice to not have to worry about the price of groceries. They just appear in your refrigerator or appear on your plate. Gas just appears in the car. You ain't got to worry about the price of this shit. It does make him look very privileged to make statements like that. Like, you're just completely out of touch. But the crazy thing is, MAGA voted for Trump because he seemed like a guy you could really relate to.
That's the strange part about it. Like, he's saying all of this stuff that's unrelatable, but they keep holding then on, it doesn't matter. You see, MAGA Reacts will say anything. He will come out afterwards, after he done argue about the shit for 10 minutes and be like, well, you know, I really don't know that much about it. Let me go research it. But you spent 10 minutes trying to defend some shit that you don't even know about. Then when you play it for him, well, he had to say it. He did not have to say that. He could have said, of course I care about the financial situation of Americans, but this is something that I feel like I need to do. That's all he had to say.
So what about, let's take away his I guess insensitive phrase there that he don't care about America's finances. But what about the notion that Iran having a nuclear bomb was such a threat to the United States that it should put the financial well-being of this country on the back burner? Do you agree with that part, that we need to focus on Iran and the safety threat they pose to America to the point where nothing else is more important than that? Do you agree with that?
If I believe that they were at the point that he's talking about, then yes. But they weren't. We know they weren't. The national security people said it. The national security people, which people don't look at actual facts and what's being said by the actual government and not Trump. They actually said we entered the war at the request of Benjamin Netanyahu. They said it actually in the paperwork in the government.
So Trump essentially ignored our intelligence and took that of Israel.
When he was talking about how he came to the decision, and he basically said, well, I had a conversation with Netanyahu, and he told me that they were close to, getting the bomb. So I had a conversation with Rubio and Kegsbruff, and they agreed to let's do it. So he started on a premise that Netanyahu told him.
Yeah.
That they were about to, and he said this in the interview. There is no back channels, no secret conversations about how things normally get handled. He just says it out loud. Israelis told him that's something we needed to do, which they've been telling every president since Kennedy. And you see what happened to Kennedy once he told them, hell no.
I want to give you a quote that I'm hearing that came from Candace Owens. I don't know if this is accurate, but it's controversial. But before I go to get into that quote, tap the screen, folks. Get the likes on up to 125 if you will. Smash that like button if you're watching on YouTube. This is uncensored programming. And Coffee Talk 2 in the comments says, let's talk about the liberal Democrat judges that are letting criminals out. Do you like them? As long as Trump is pardoning these big-time white-collar felons, I don't want to hear about liberal Democrats letting people out. All of them motherfuckers on January 6th are walked out and called patriots. I don't want to hear about liberal Democrat judges when you can literally take flag posts and beat the shit out of Capitol Police officers and be called a patriot after you do it. I don't want to hear about the liberal judges. You don't care about defending crime. You care about going after liberals. Let's be clear about that. It ain't about being against crime. The man is pardoning white-collar criminals every fucking week. So
the people that have stolen people's life savings, and they don't care. They still got Steve Bannon around. When we know that Steve Bannon was around on a daily basis, and he stole millions of dollars for that wall that they were supposed to build. But they don't got nothing to say about Trump letting him off the hook. But they talking about these liberal judges let somebody out that they were selling weed.
Yeah, I don't listen. Even without trying to criticize Trump, I don't want to hear about the liberal judges. You're ignoring Trump literally letting out bad people. I mean, he is literally pardoning the Binance founder and all of that shit. He's pardoning some really bad people. So, and not to mention all of the bad people he's protecting on the Epstein list by not releasing the files. I don't want to hear about you being concerned about crime with all this shit orbiting in your own universe. So miss me with the bullshit. But Candace Owens allegedly made this statement that, and we're talking about Israel, but I'm going to say I country because I don't want AI to put it all together. Because you talk about Israel, they make the whole fucking lights go out in here. apparently she said there will never be peace on earth as long as I country exists.
Ooh, that's deep.
That's really fucking deep for a black woman to say some shit like that online. Candace Owens may end up disappearing, but
She should have articulated that a little bit better. She should have maybe, if she would have said maybe Zionist.
everybody knows that's like saying urban. Everybody know what urban means. Yeah, but everybody knows.
That's a broad sweep, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, you start talking about, what's going on in the urban community. People know who you're talking about. You start talking about Zionists. Ain't nobody Chinese calling themselves Zionists. You know who they talking about. So, but do you think there's any validity to that?
I believe that they are the cause of a lot of chaos that goes on in the world. And I believe that because I've listened to them. The people at the highest echelons have come out and said, like Netanyahu came out and said, the next thing we got to tackle is TikTok because it's controlling these young people. So he's admitting, he said the next thing, because they've already conquered Hollywood, they've got control of all of that. They've got AIPAC, they've got both sides of the aisle in Congress and the Senate. And of course, we know that they got the ear of the president. So when he says stuff like that, it lets you know, like,
they're trying to stifle free speech.
Guess who got it? Larry
Yeah.
Ellison.
Why is Trump? And by the way, in the comments, by way of yes or no in the comments, do you agree with Candace Owens? Yes or no? You think there's any possibility? Type yes or no in the comments. And what Candace Owens said, there'll never be world peace on the planet as long as I country exists. Why do you think, Dencal, though, that Trump is so agreeable with Netanyahu? Because there's been plenty of U.S. presidents that obviously didn't attack Iran. Obama was critical of Netanyahu encroaching in Palestinian land and things like that. And Biden was more workable with Netanyahu, but not to the level of Trump. Why is Trump so workable, so favorable to Netanyahu, even taking his word over his own intelligence agency of Tulsi Gabbard?
Well, I mean, he has gotten probably close to $1 billion from them. Marion Adelson, like Ellison, all of them guys who run all of the media and all of that stuff, the contributors, they put a lot in his war chest. Like, it's not,
Is all this man therefore is just chasing paper? Is this what it is? Paper chase 2024?
That is Donald Trump. He's been doing it all his life. He is the epitome of what they call fake it till you make it. Back in the day when he was failing, he used to tell his people to get with the people at Forbes and make it look like his wealth is growing steadily every year, even though he was about $1 billion in debt. He has always faked it until he made it. And now, once he became the president the second time, now he has made it. Because he was just a billionaire on paper before. But now, with all of these crypto deals and all of these contracts with drones and all of this stuff, he is really a billionaire now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it kind of I remember the Iraq War when they were talking about Halliburton and the no bid contracts with Dick Cheney and all that. He's doing that. His son got no bid He's giving his friends no bid contracts, very similar to that. It's
like they said he did the one with the reflecting pool.
Mm-hmm.
He gave that to one of his former contractors that used to resurface his pools. He gave them a pool that is not a regular pool. It has to deal with the weather changes in DC, which is you got to treat it differently. And then these guys, after they have primed it and resurfaced it, this jackass wants to drive his big vehicle, what they call it, the Beast.
Yeah.
He got a whole convoy to drive down the center of it to take a picture of him driving down the fucking pool. You do not drive 3-4 ton vehicles on top of a surface that's in the process of being resurfaced. You're gonna fuck it up.
I'll tell you, I don't know what history is going to say, but once he's out of office, and certainly when you get a Democrat administration in there and they start looking through how much money was exchanged and how much money people made, I think the numbers are going to be astounding. I really think it's going to be astounding.
The nerve to say that they're looking into all of these big oil purchases that happened before Donald Trump makes these calls about ending the war, starting the war. You know, somebody is making these big market purchases prior to him coming saying, "Oh, the war is almost over." Stock market shoots up. They sell all of their stock, and they pocket in hundreds of billions of dollars every time he does this. But the Congress say, "Well, we're looking into it."
That's what I don't get, because they asked, Kamala Harris was interviewed, and I don't know if it was Stephen Colbert, a friendly was interviewing. Well, I mean, for the most part, that's kind of where she goes, is the friendly environments. But she was being interviewed by a friendly, and they joked about, we're going to go ahead and give you the chance to say "I told you so," because they were saying that Kamala Harris, all her predictions of Trump were coming true. And they told her, "We'll go ahead and give you the moment to take time out and say, 'I told y'all so.'" And she said, "I don't want to do that." She said, "Because I knew what was going to happen." She said, "But what I didn't know was about all the capitulation, how people were going to, because you're talking about Congress and this, we'll investigate and stuff like that." I don't think anybody would have predicted so many people would just literally bow down to him. I mean, even to the point where we're at war with Iran, and the 60 days, they just went on vacation. Fuck it. Let them figure it out. I mean, like, listen, you may think the Democrats suck. I get that. But I don't think any president should be able to exist with no checks and balances. Is there anybody, even folks who, I'm talking to my MAGA folks, is there anybody who believes Trump has proper checks and balances on him? And if your only answer, well, Biden or Obama, then the answer is no. Then the answer is no, you don't think he has any checks. If you got to bring up somebody else to even get in the conversation, then the answer is no. And that I don't understand.
He got up there the other day, and literally hours after he had both Rubio and his department, the SecDef, come out and say, "Yeah, the Project Enduring Freedom, we're going to be escorting the boats through the canal, and we got everything under control. We got the forces coming in, and we got this and that." 2 hours later, oh, that's over.
Yeah, Project Freedom is probably going to go down in history as one of the shortest military projects in history. That shit lasted, and it was a failure too, a great failure. Like, my God, that was terrible. Yeah.
The embargo is still on. Now they talking every day about ships that snuck through, as they call it. Snuck through. Them is the people that's paying that tariff. They paying that tariff to Iran, and they roll it on through there.
And that probably is some of the stuff that's going to come out too once Trump is gone. Is they're going to come out and admit that Iran was making a killing while that war was going on. That's probably going to come out too. I also, some of those Lego videos, I get that I get that a lot of them are Iranian propaganda, but I believe some of the stuff is true. Like they mentioned that when during Project Freedom you're talking about, when they tried to escort ships through the strait and Iran started firing on them, which is what caused Trump to end the project, they claim in those Lego videos they damaged some of the U.S. ships.
Right. We're waiting to see. And we know how this administration is. They keep everything quiet.
Yeah, they ain't going to tell you.
Last time they said it was a big fire on the ship, on that aircraft carrier, and they had to go in the port to do repairs. And we said, well, it had nothing to do with that what was happening out there. You know, it's a lot of stuff that's going to come out after those people start getting home from those cruises.
Well, what you're going to probably need is a Democrat Congress and Senate to offer whistleblower protections to the military, because because of confidentiality and secrecy, they can't tell you the truth. And if Congress can get them to be like the Black Admiral, the guy that was down there in the Venezuelan theater that resigned when Trump started bombing those drug boats, I want to hear from him. Why did you just leave? Like, that ain't something you normally do. Why did you just quit all of a sudden? So once them folks are able to speak freely, you're going to start hearing those stories.
I think it's going to happen before then. When these people start getting back from these 10-month cruises where they've been on radio silent for all of this time, when they get back and the ships go into dry dock, and the people that work at the shipyard start seeing the damage, and people have conversations, that shit's gonna come out. You can't.
Yeah, but that ain't official though. I mean, they can still squash that and say that's a lie or something like that. But when you start having, folks in brass testifying before Congress under penalty of perjury, that's different. I mean, yes, I heard a rumor some of the guys that got off the ship said this and, and this and that. We'll probably end up believing a lot of that too, but it's a big difference between, some, top-notch military brass in front of Congress saying that shit.
Yeah, I agree, but, it's power in numbers. You get sailors that speak to reporters, and vow of secrecy and stuff, and then reporters start putting it out. It's gonna be hard for the military to kind of, say.
Well, Trump will start yelling that treason and traitor word. He make you think he gonna hang your ass. I mean, shit. I mean, I'm hearing rumors that Marjorie Taylor Greene is going to Costa Rica. I mean, so.
That ain't gonna stop a whole bunch of soldiers and sailors with TMZ come knocking with a couple $1,000.
Yeah.
Oh, you sure you ain't gonna say my name?
Yeah,
this is what happened.
There's probably a dozen movies that's going to be made about the Trump administration. Different things, like I said, Venezuelan theater, Iran theater, the economy. I mean, there's January 6th is a movie. Who knows? I mean, all of these different things that are happening. What ICE and immigration has done. You could have one Kilmar Brego Garcia. That's a movie by itself. What happened to that one dude? That is a movie.
10 months being in detention. He finally got out. Yeah, all of that's a story in itself. The story he gonna have to tell. And now they talking about shutting down Alligator Alcatraz, right?
That's another movie. That's another fucking movie.
What happened inside Alligator Alcatraz? It's coming. All of that money that we wasted on that thing.
Yeah.
On that detention center in the middle of where? Designed to scare the hell out of people.
And then they bragged about if you escaped, you might get eaten by an alligator. The cruelty's off the chain. Then I got to move it on. I'm looking forward to seeing the movies. Sure. Sure.
Have you heard that senator? I think he was from Alabama.
Trying to defend Trump with this statement?
No. The guy who said that they're working on getting rid of the 14th Amendment.
Yes. Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
I need MAGA to explain what he means, because they're flipping pretzel.
Well, it'll be similar. It'll be similar to Charlie Kirk saying the Civil Rights Act was a mistake. They'll come up with some part of the 14th Amendment was not implemented right. That's why they want to roll it back. It won't be about going after black people, just like with the Voting Rights Act being rolled back. Well, you still can vote, even though it don't fucking matter anymore, but you still can vote. I mean, so you can spin anything, man.
See, the thing is, he didn't say a specific section. He said the 14th Amendment. It's one thing when the Voting Rights Act, it still exists.
Charlie Kirk said the Civil Rights Act was a mistake. I mean, and they found a way to spin that.
Candace Owens is talking trash about Charlie Kirk. I said, no, she's not. She's defending him.
She don't like Erica. Yeah, she don't like Erica.
Yeah, that was Stevie D. If he's still on here talking about she's talking trash about him. No, she's talking about the people that offed him.
Yeah, I haven't heard Candace Owens say anything negative about Charlie. It's been Erica in the Trump administration. Yeah.
By saying she's saying something about somebody that they care about and like, and she's not. She's just saying she doesn't like the same way Tucker Carlson, and I don't agree with them two on nothing except for this situation. They are being very blunt and very forward, and it's hard to believe that the people that stood behind them for 10 years up to this point are now saying, oh, they were always rhinos. They were never in MAGA. They were literally the spokespeople for MAGA.
I mean, anybody in Trump's circle, if you disagree with Trump, you can become a rhino. It don't matter. I mean, Mike Pence was a rhino by the time it was over with. And that's like the vice president. Goddamn, like, it don't get no higher than that. Jesus would be a rhino if he came back. I got to move it on. Appreciate you coming through. Thanks, man. All right, anytime. All right, anyway, some of you guys have been lazy thumbs. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and stop the broadcast. I got to go make an errand and do some shit. I appreciate you guys that are tuning in. Something I got to do. Anyway, I don't know who to root for. I saw that already. You took Jesus out of context. Cardo, that is hilarious. That is hilarious. Anyway, folks, follow the program. I see in the comments, lies, says John, but you didn't illustrate what the lies were. So next time you're watching, feel free to let me know what the lies are so I can address them properly, because I don't mind the criticism, but I will absolutely entertain your comment. If you want to say I'm full of shit and you state why, maybe you're right. I'll read your comment. We don't run from insults, but you're lying and you add nothing to that. I can't do shit with that. Such as Drew saying he's a bot. Do they make black bots? Okay, shout out to the bot maker, not seeing race. They're making black bots now. I gotta go. It's your boy Tim, the handsome liberal. I'll catch you guys mañana. Thanks for tuning in. Y'all take care. Appreciate it. I gotta go. What the hell did I just do? There we go.